Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Days Grimm podcast. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Grimm.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing all right, and you?
I'm okay. Why are you answering me like that? You can fucking look at me, dude.
Well, I was trying to turn
I'm
music
doing
and all
fine.
this,
Thank you for asking. I'm in the zone right now. Don't bother me. I have autism. So you doing okay, sir?
Yeah, dude. Speaking of autism, I went crazy on that telepathy tapes. I went hardcore on that. I low-key wish I had autism.
Before we get
nonverbal.
No.
So I can telepathically fuck with people. Joining us this week in the Days Grimm studio is Joe and Kourtney. How are you guys?
Good.
Doing great. How are you guys? Joe, Kourtney, you guys doing okay?
Excellent.
Kourtney with a K over here.
It is.
Very unique, and I appreciate that. My wife's name is Kristen, and it is spelt with an E at the end. Nobody gets it right.
Yeah, that's my sister is a Kristen with an E.
Yeah, no one gets it right. Kristen with a K, I'm hoping. It's not like...
After the N?
Okay.
Like a CH.
Like a Christine?
No, like E-N.
E-N,
Oh,
not
E-N.
I-N.
Sorry, I thought it was after. Okay,
Everyone does I-N, and I'm like, dude, fucking just ask. If you're not sure, just ask. And then you have people that just are illiterate and spell my name Brain all the time.
Oh, yeah. Big
And
brain
I'm like,
time.
I'm like, dude, thank you for the compliment, but also...
Half the time it's autocorrect too. For some,
Yeah.
if you don't capitalize the B,
Yep.
it switches Brian to Brain.
Brain.
And I'm just like, are you serious?
It's a compliment.
Honestly, I just hate myself. So how are you guys doing, man? You guys doing okay?
Doing great. We just
Yeah,
had
we're
lunch
good.
at Sportsman's Billiards.
Okay. Shout out to the old billiards.
Yeah, we had some wings. It's Wing
Wing
Sundays.
Yeah.
And you guys actually both are bartenders here
Yep.
in Evansville.
We are.
The old B10, dude.
Yeah.
I love a good bartender. I think it's an underrated quality. Like if you find like if and when I find a good bartender and they work a lot, I will go to that bar hands down. All of that. It could be that they could have the shittiest food in town. Like it does not matter. Like if you are a good bartender, it's like going to church.
Well,
you find a
and-
good priest or a good pastor. You know what I mean? I'm locked in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, and too, like, if you're a regular too, it's like cool to have a relationship with a bartender where like you walk in and they may have a huge line, but if you stand off to the side, you might be able to cut that line.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, baby boo.
Yeah.
Hey, baby boo. Come on
Cop
over
a
here.
cut.
Come
Yeah.
on over here now. God.
And I always liked, like, when you're establishing, we can talk a little bit more about it down the road, but like when you're like meet a new bartender that like you're vibing with, if you start cashing out every time and you slip them a tip on every single cash out trip, they're eating you up.
Dude.
You get
Oh, yeah,
first
dude.
time service
yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
It's a lot like dating, you know what I mean? Like finding your bartender. It's like finding your soulmate, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people do their due diligence. I really think that, just invest in your research is what
Yeah.
I'm getting at. So, how long have you guys been bartending, out of curiosity?
You want to go first?
Sure. I started bartending at Cheddar's in 2012. Well, I
Okay.
started serving there, and then I started bartending around 2014, and I worked as a bartender server until like 2017.
Hell yeah, okay.
And then I took a little bit of break. I've served in between, and then I just started bartending in August at Bonefish.
Hell yeah, classy establishment there.
Very
So,
classy. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of classy establishments. I really like Fidel's. Has anyone here been to Fidel's? Yeah, I love Fidel's.
How do you say that?
Fidel's,
Okay.
great spot. Yeah, they let you. You can get really expensive cigars there, and they have really good bourbon. Love Fidel's. How about you, sir? How long you been bartending?
Well, I started in the service industry in 2015. I was in Palatine, Illinois, which is kind of like next to Schaumburg, which is next to Chicago.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yep. It's all good.
You made it out, brother.
Well, I started there as a door guy, so I would take,
Like a
I was
bouncer?
security bouncer.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I know I don't look like a bouncer, but they hired me, I guess, because everybody else just wanted to muscle up and not talk, and they liked me to talk to people. So that's kind of my role there. And then I started serving as actually, I was in the kitchen, I was serving tables, and I was bouncing all in the same day. In a weekend, I'd work 40 hours in like 4 days sometimes.
Oh, yeah, dude.
like it was a lot.
And where was that? What joint was that?
It was called Lamplighter Inn Tavern and Grill. It's in Palatine, Illinois.
Okay,
The
Lamplighter.
cool part about that though too is like when you work in a restaurant industry, you find some people to where like if they're not busy, they're not doing shit. And
Right.
then you have other people that like if they have 30 seconds of downtime, they're picking up a piece of trash or whatever. But like if you're that person that's like doing all the extra stuff, you're climbing that ladder crazy fast.
Oh, dude, you're always compartmentalizing all the shit you have to do.
Prioritizing,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
You're,
for sure.
Oh my god.
And you did lamp ladders for how many years?
So I was there. So from 2015, I think 2017, I left. I moved to San Diego for 4 months. I had a girlfriend.
That's an upgrade.
Dude, yeah.
That's
It was
big
not-
upgrade.
Not a great choice, but great experience and lessons learned. I lasted 4 months there because we broke up, and then I moved back to Chicago and to Palatine. I went back into
That's a downgrade.
Chirac and Palatine. You know what I mean?
oh my god. Yep.
Bro. Oh, God. Oh, sheesh.
Yeah.
Really,
it's
hard not to make an inappropriate joke here.
Yep.
Go ahead.
That's why I
continue,
just left
sir.
it at that.
Yeah, leave it there, sir, please. Thank you. But,
Well, so then I kind of was in and out. I did HVAC work for a couple years. I did, but I still always maintained like a job there at Lamplighters.
Yeah.
Doing something. So that's one of the cool things about service industry. You can always maintain like a side job somewhere, doing something. in
one day a
whatever
week
facet.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just keep your foot in the door in case you like develop a coke problem and you become, you know what I mean, and you get fired
Yeah.
from your job, and now
Yep.
so
You need extra cash.
we also edit out drug names just for reference, so your mothers can still watch this.
No, I like the full.
Oh, you want the
gambit
full
of
thing?
what
If
guys
you want the
got
full
going
thing,
on,
I'll
man.
leave it in, dude.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
Oh yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Tom, you heard that?
No, I
All right.
appreciate non-censored.
He has to tell me that so I don't make any J jokes.
It's worse when you call them the Jays.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna come out and say it. You
Yeah.
can just
I'm talking about the Blue Jays, the baseball team.
Yeah. Or like
So-
to drink bug juice.
so you
make sure you emphasize the S. Yeah.
juice. So you go back to Palatine, and then there you're back at Lamplighters.
Yep,
When
so
the
then-
second go around.
Yep. So then I stay in Palatine until basically COVID start. I got
Oh.
real sick. I couldn't work much, and then I was falling behind on bills. And then I moved back to Evansville in 2020. Got an apartment in Haney's Corner, and lived there for 2 years. I bartended at the DoubleTree Hotel
Okay.
for a stint, like 7-8 months, maybe.
Also a classy spot.
It's
yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
You probably got to
spot,
see a
dude.
lot of like
Yeah.
big names. God bless you.
Yeah, it's not $3 fucking Budweiser 32 ounce things I'm pouring anymore. But yeah, I mean, majority of my service, service experience comes from how my relationship with the people I made as a door guy. Really, I mean, it really challenges your ability to,
strike up a conversation.
oh
with
my
somebody
god,
from
yeah,
all
and
walks.
be in the
Mediate.
worst and best moments of people's nights.
Yeah, you have to deal
you know?
with like.
You see a guy coming in a great mood, and then
Yeah.
later on he's getting carried
Oh, too
out
much?
by the
Yeah.
bouncers.
Or
Oh, yeah.
even like back to back, you see a guy, give me your ID, he's all pumped, he high fives you, he goes in, has a drink, has a great night. The next guy behind him stabs you with a fork. You know what I mean?
Oh,
and
yep.
it's like Jesus fucking Christ,
Yeah.
dude. It's like you literally that is a. So I would like to thank you for your service, by the way. I mean, dude, it's just a brutal game, dude. Like the
It is.
door guy, that's
Yeah.
a brutal game.
Oh yeah, for like
dude.
$9 an hour, but then you get like a
Yeah.
tip out from the bartenders.
I
but
was
then
gonna
it's like,
ask, do you
what the-
get tipped out
so
as a
now
door guy?
as a door guy? Yeah, I mean that's the majority of your income
Nice.
is the tip out from the bar
Yeah.
because I mean it's packed. I mean, dude, oh my god, dude, this place was like barely a fucking. Oh my god, it was like a.
What bar?
It looked like a house. It looked like a house that got turned into a tavern. Plus the upstairs, you have to take like 19 stairs to go to the upstairs. That's where the DJ was playing on like a platform, like what 3 feet high? Not even 3 feet, like 2 feet high. But it was packed in, dude. I had like Jimmy Garoppolo. First of all, Jimmy Garoppolo used to come to our
The
bar.
quarterback?
Oh yeah, dude, he had 2 Super Bowl rings already. And him and his friends, it was $3.
Oh yeah, Tom, look this guy up. He is.
I can't spell, but
No, you cannot.
Jimmy
He-
Galapagos
That's
Islands.
close.
He's a look at this handsome devil. Go ahead and go to
Yeah.
images.
Oh, hell yeah.
I want to get every female which is very few, that is watching our podcast nice and fired up. Yeah, look at this gentleman.
Yeah.
Jesus,
Yeah.
he's
Right.
from
Certainly
Chicago.
is.
Though.
He's
Porn
from
star Jimmy.
He's from Chicago, Chi-Town.
He's from Rolling Meadows. He went to Rolling Meadows High School. It was close to Palatine.
It sounds classy as shit. I bet he comes from money. With a
He looks
jawline
like
like
he's
that,
from
dude,
Palatine.
he comes from money.
Potentially. I mean, all those people.
Yeah, I don't know,
have to
dude. Oh, before we get too
live in
deep,
Cook County.
before we get too deep, have either one of you guys seen any of the Days Grimm or listened to any of the Days Grimm podcasts?
I have.
We're doing this thing now where we don't do it every week, but sometimes we do still do it because a lot of people like it. The Death of the Week. Are you familiar with that?
I am.
Courtney,
I'm not.
You're not? All right. We're just going to jump right into
right,
it.
cool.
There's no good way to do it. Tom, will you be
Okay,
so
go.
kind?
The death of the
All right, here we go. This week's Death of the Week. This is via live5news.com, the Low Country's news leader. All right. Woman charged after prominent pastor shot and killed at bar. So not just any regular pastor, he's prominent, folks. Here we go. This happened on March 13th, 2025. Still Jesus
a couple
Christ.
days ago.
Oh my God. This fucking happened 3 hours ago. No, I'm joking. Anyway, so in Memphis, Tennessee, a woman was charged in the death of a pastor outside of a bar early Wednesday morning. Authorities say Samantha Marion, age 42, shot Ricky Floyd outside of Mama's Bar in Memphis, Tennessee, just after 1:20 a.m. on Wednesday. Witnesses say Marion and Floyd got into an argument that ended outside of the bar. According to police, surveillance footage showed Floyd throwing Marion's phone to the ground and throwing a beer can. Floyd began to drive away, but stopped and got out of the vehicle and walked back toward Marion, who then shot him. Floyd, who was the senior lead pastor at Pursuit of God Transformation Center, was pronounced dead at the scene. Marion is charged with voluntary manslaughter. God damn, boy!
Why was this pastor at a bar at 1:20 in the morning?
Yeah, first.
Just
He did not ask
Wasn't
himself.
Sunday yet.
He did not ask himself.
on a Wednesday? Is he Catholic?
The number one question
Isn't Lent going on right
Hold
now?
on, wait. Was
Is
that
that
not?
Ash Wednesday?
Yeah, no. Pull up.
No, that was like
3
wait
days
a
ago.
Second.
3 days ago. That was Thursday. Sunday,
yeah, we are-
Saturday, Friday,
Okay.
Thursday.
Ash Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay, so week after.
No, it was. Oh yeah, a week after. Yes. Sorry. Anyways, we're derailing. The point is, he didn't ask himself the most important question.
He didn't
this
give
evening.
up liquor or hookers for Lent, apparently.
He didn't ask himself what would Jesus do.
Right.
He wouldn't be at a bar at 1:20 in the
Mama's
morning
bar.
on a fucking Wednesday, dude.
Yeah.
You're turning up on a Wednesday?
For the Lord. Just
Don't
got
they-
out of Mass.
Don't they do mass on Wednesdays?
Well, I don't think he's Catholic. The Pursuit of God Transformation Center.
Well,
Doesn't
it's
even
pastor.
sound like a...
Transformation Center.
It says pastor, not priest.
they're
Hold on.
They're pro-trans is what they're getting at.
Gotcha,
They're
okay.
pro. That's
They're-
what I think the transformation is for. They're pro. They're supporting the trans community.
They're trans for God.
Yeah, and honestly, I support the trans community as well, so I'm a big fan of this church right off the rip. But no, I just wonder, like, what is he doing out at 1:20 on a Wednesday in the morning?
He's just trying to spread the word.
And I don't like that they didn't tell his age, but Samantha, her age got thrown out.
Also, one thing that just registered in my brain, this was at 1:20 a.m. on Wednesday, so this is technically Tuesday night.
Right.
I didn't register that in my head, so he still did have mass to go to on Wednesday.
Well,
Who's
I
that rapper
don't
that said that we should be turning up on a Tuesday? Who's that rapper?
going
Turn
up.
up. Going up.
On a Tuesday.
Going up, though.
I think that was
Maybe not turning
Yachty.
up.
Was that
Maybe
Yachty?
it was.
Yeah, I think that was Yachty,
Going
the
up.
old
Yo
Yachty.
Gotti.
I don't know. My thoughts on that are, if you're going to be a pastor, maybe don't start shit and throw people's phones. You're asking to get stabbed. Your guys' thoughts. Oh, and I support the trans community. I want to throw that out there. And then your guys' thoughts, man.
Well, I think it's hilarious.
I know it's a deep topic. I warned you; these are not easy. It is never.
You
good.
can pull that in maybe a little closer
Yeah,
too.
it's very sad. They lost their lives. But why are you at Mama's bar
Mama.
at 1:20 in the morning?
Yeah, that's
You know?
just wild.
So
I'm
I
not a
think
fan.
You're kind of walking into that one. You know what I mean?
Nothing
But still,
good- nothing
what is
good.
Samantha doing?
Unless the only thing that I could think of is maybe he's Samantha Marion's sponsor, an AA
There you
ordeal.
go.
Ooh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I could think makes sense. But
I
outside
see
of that,
I see you.
haram.
He's just trying to stop her from one more bad decision.
Also,
you
how
know
many
what I mean?
writers have to write this article? There's 4 names there.
Yeah, it's 9 sentences. Who in God's good name needed 4 gentlemen and gentle ladies to get into a room and be like, all right, guys, I got the first sentence figured out. All right, check this out. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, dude, that's perfect. I got the next sentence. You know what I mean? Like, no, don't go any further. I got the next 2 sentences. You know?
Oh, ChatGPT finished the last one.
Steve, get in here. We got 4 sentences. They fucking get Steve in there to write the fucking final. She was charged with.
Hey, bring up
voluntary-
that article one more time.
Yeah,
I want
Tommy,
to see
dude.
the first part of that. I thought it said Eyewitness News Low Country.
Can you make it big? Can you make it big, Daddy?
Big for me.
Go
All
back
right.
to the top.
Go to the
Bigger by Blue Chew.
top. Okay.
Sponsored by-
yeah.
He's at the very top.
Okay.
Go to the higher?
It said something.
Yeah,
Low
yeah.
Country. Okay. You guys know what the Low Country is, right? Low Country section.
South?
That is like South Carolina, North Carolina. Like
Well,
the
this said
coast.
Memphis.
This has Memphis, though, dude. Who's Low Country?
I'm very confused.
Yeah.
But I will say, if you're going to get shot and stabbed anywhere,
Memphis is probably
Memphis
a
is the
good
place
shot.
to do it. The
Yeah.
guy
Literally.
who wrote "Walking in Memphis," he doesn't
Yeah.
mention that
Marcone.
he was stabbed shortly after walking in Memphis.
Well, he's hanging his feet 6 feet off of Beale.
Yeah, dude, a friend of ours was on Beale Street. He's been on the podcast. Was it Larry Watts? And he went there for like a honeymoon or something. It was like the week after they got married. They're doing their honeymoon or whatever, and they're down on Beale. Very nice African American dude, just super sweet, and we've known him for a while. He's down there just vibing, chilling, taking in the culture. Gets like at their third stop, they get robbed on Beale. Yeah, they got like robbed. I was like, dude, fucking, why'd
Shouldn't
you
that be-
celebrate your
Dude, that
marriage
should-
in Memphis, dude?
Right.
Like, what are you
Right.
doing?
Good
I've
barbecue.
never
Good barbecue. Yeah, next time try out Kansas City or something. I don't know. Jesus Christ. Hey, that's this week's Death of the Week, brought to you by the Low Country's leader in the news, Channel 5. What was that website? Doesn't really matter.
Yep.
Link in the description.
So,
All right.
like, in years of going to bars, we see wild shit.
100%.
Wild
100%.
shit.
Yeah.
So, like, you want to start off with, like, just some wild story you both have from, like...
Well, we had a great interaction today before
Oh my God,
we came in here.
dude. So great. Yeah, we're just sitting there. If you go to Sportsman's, now sometimes people get a bad rap about like Franklin Street bars at night, sports. I mean, that whole street. But dude,
Gets
when
pretty
I come
rowdy.
in there, when I
Yeah.
come in there during lunch, I don't expect. I
It was
expect
3
people playing
o'clock.
pool with their
Yeah.
dads. You play pool with your dad during lunchtime on the weekends
Yeah.
at Sportsman's. No,
Yeah.
dude, we got some. Do you want to describe?
Get a
Because I
latte.
could.
Yeah.
It's giving Snooki, but like maybe a little more ghetto, like some a ghetto New Jersey.
Yeah, we're talking about
Yeah,
a
Gymtown,
Gymtown, white
Tan.
trash, dude.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like,
she had a Jersey accent though. So
God bless you. Snooki is already pretty ghetto, though. You know what I mean? So, like,
Yeah.
New Jersey ghetto.
My
I get
favorite
it.
thing about Sportsman's is that blind guy goes in there.
The blonde or
blind guy.
Yeah,
Oh, the
I don't know his name.
Brandon-
Have you seen this guy?
Is it the beautiful lady?
No. This guy's blind. Literally walks
Yep.
with a stick all the way to
Short hair.
Sportsman's, sits at the bar. They hand him drinks, and then after he's had enough, he just stumbles
walks-
on out with
yeah.
his stick and walks home.
Yeah,
Fun thought experiment.
he's hilarious.
Do blind people get the spins? I gotta know. I gotta fucking know.
I can't imagine they
yeah,
do.
I think so because when you get the spins and you lay down and you close your eyes, you're still spinning, right?
Well, like they don't
But-
have like an occipital lobe. Like they don't have like a, or maybe they do, but they just don't. They don't have. So when people say blind people, do you just see black? No, they just absolutely see nothing. It's like trying to see out of your elbow.
so what is nothing? That would be black, right?
That would just be nothing.
Yeah, they don't have, like, it's just not there from what I've understood.
Well, what's interesting on this telepathy tapes that I've been listening to is,
I have yet to listen.
well,
to
they were
it.
talking about there's some people that are like blind and they would have them walk down a hallway, but they would put
Yeah.
obstacles in the way and they would just naturally avoid these obstacles.
Because your other senses kick
Yeah.
in,
Yep. Well,
right?
Well, they're talking like no stick, like just literally
Right.
walk down the hallway,
But,
but
like,
we're going to
your-
put barrels in front of you and they like
Your
avoid
perception.
them. Yeah.
Also, that's a fucked up test. I just want to throw that out there. They're like, hey, put some shorts and class in the hallway. Let's see if this kid can fucking avoid it.
Watch this.
What the
Watch
fuck?
this.
Like, John, fire that gun down the hallway. See if you can. Like, dude, what are we doing here, dude? You're just like trying to harm people. Like,
We're just trying to find the
Jesus.
next Daredevil, man.
Golly, but yeah, no, it is pretty crazy. That we can get into telepathy stuff later, though. So I do want to get
like restaurants, I guess, like bartending at a restaurant, you don't necessarily see half that riffraff. Like, there's nobody like having sex in the unisex bathroom at Bonefish.
Applebee's fires up.
No, but we
You've
do
been to
have to cut
Applebee's?
some people off, though.
Oh,
it does happen.
Yeah?
I had to cut off a group of 6 grandmas.
Ah,
Yeah, they were getting way too lit.
Golden
asking
Girls
for
plus 2?
Fireball.
Yeah,
man, dude.
Dude,
This was like in February, and one of the ladies was going, "Happy New Year."
you might
Like-
being a Franklin Street. You guys in bar scenes. You guys know Cole Simpson,
But the
Jelly Boy Fresh. He's a pool player. You might know him
Jelly
from
Boy Fresh.
No.
Oh,
He's got
Nicole Simpson.
Cole Simpson.
Cole Simpson.
He's got half sleeves.
Do I know that guy?
He's got half sleeves, a beard, kind of longer hair.
yeah, he kind of looks like a vagabond.
His name's Cole. I thought it was like, but he's like an insane pool player.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
like a savant.
Yeah. Was it Dreads?
No, he's
No,
got.
he plays with Dreads though, like a guy named Dreads.
Oh yeah, he does play
That's
with
the guy I
dreads.
know. Man, I guess I don't know this guy.
Yeah, he's dope, dude. I watched him beat a dude at Mo's house, blind and one-handed, with his offhand.
Is he the guy that killed the guy at Moe's?
No,
No, I don't think so. No,
Okay.
he's
This
this
guy.
guy. Yeah, and he's got tattoos
Okay.
everywhere.
Oh no.
Yeah, beautiful eyes. I can definitely tell who he is.
Yeah,
No,
puts out a real
I
Ray
don't-
Charles vibe. You know. No, shout out to Cole. I miss you, boo.
I was trying to go. We used to go into just crazy bar scene, like there every night playing different people and pull for money. People getting in like arguments over it. Like the scene was wild back in the day.
Yeah, and he's somewhat of a. You actually got Cole into pool and taught him everything he knows from what.
Yeah, back in the day, man, we hustled at Show-Me's. We played
Are you a
like
big pool
people with
player?
mop handles, people that got
Only
too
when I'm
drunk.
drinking.
Yeah.
So you do play pool though?
I do play pool.
Okay.
I'm better whenever I'm drinking. I get a little bit more confident.
Court, you
Yeah.
play any pool?
I grew up playing pool. I don't so much now, but my dad was a true.
Was
pool
he a
shark.
hustler?
Yes.
Oh fuck yeah, those are the
1000%.
best, dude.
Yep. He
Those
got
are the
me my own
best,
pool
dude.
stick when I was like 10.
I fucking
yeah.
love to
And we
watch
used to go
those.
to Two Bit Bandit on the east side.
I love Two Bit.
But the only reason I
And
referenced Cole was
we
there
would
was a
play
group
pool.
of old ladies before he came on a party pod. Party pods are like, it's us two and Cole brings a guest and we just get obliterated.
Yeah,
and
I just black
like,
out. I really don't even remember what happened.
build a giant beer pyramid and hate yourself the next day.
Hell yeah.
But before Cole was pre-gaming for the party pod at a Mexican restaurant drinking margaritas, and a group of old women came up to him and asked if they could like pray over him and stuff like
Oh.
that.
Love
Like,
that.
yeah.
Oh man, there's
He
nothing
just
better
joins
than
hands with older women. Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Cole needs some prayers. He does. He is a rather extravagant fellow.
But like, do the old women talk back to you? Like, that's got to be semi-awkward, right, to cut somebody
I've never
off?
done
Yes. So actually, I didn't personally have to do it because I'm not a manager. So anything that I put it on the manager, that's their job.
Right.
So our manager came over and she was like, "Hey, you guys they had quite a few drinks in a pretty short amount of time, and they were starting to ask for Fireball, which we purposefully do not carry for a reason."
Yeah.
And so
It's
she
like
goes
fight
over.
fuel.
Yeah. She goes over and they come every Thursday. And she was like, "Hey, we're just gonna kind of take a break from drinks." Like, she was so sweet and subtle about it, our manager. And one of the ladies was like, "Who are you?" She's like, "Well, I'm a manager." She's like, "That's funny. I've never seen you before. Mine, this manager's there 40 plus hours a week, but whatever." She goes, "Oh, okay. Well, I guess we're not coming back anymore. I'm gonna call Donald Trump."
I'm sorry.
I swear. And so then a couple minutes later, I was listening and she goes, she said, "What was that manager's name again?" Oh, I already forgot. So they were already over it. They swore they weren't going to come back.
Dude, honestly, I'd been like, do it right now.
Yeah.
Call Daddy T. I want to talk to him. I got
She's
a
over
few
here.
things.
Let me
Mr.
talk to
President.
I got a few things I want to shove up the pike.
So
You
it
know what I'm
was,
saying?
I know you just put
was
tariffs on stuff, but I'm trying to get some Tennessee import here. And,
but they
Dude,
were back
that's
the next
wild.
week, so they weren't that mad.
right.
There's nothing.
What about you, Joe? Is there any like crazy cutoff?
Oh yeah, cut off stories.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, that was my job for like a few years.
Sorry, yeah, I bumped your mic earlier.
Oh no, you're good. Yeah, we had this one time. I think I can talk about it now. This
Jesus
woman,
Christ,
her
did
name
somebody
is
fucking die?
Her name is Haley Reinhart. She was like on.
yeah.
Do I gotta bleep this name? Is this
No, you
incriminating?
can actually pull it up. It's on TMZ.
Okay. What?
Yeah. Her
Jesus
name's
Christ.
Haley Reinhart.
Fucking start Googling now. Fucking get this going, dude. Haley, H-A-I?
Haley, I think.
Haley Reinhart. Just type in her Haley Reinhart TMZ.
REINH.
Now-
R-E-I-N-H.
There you go.
Haley Reinhart, TMZ.
So backstory here from my perspective, and because there was seven other guys that that are doing security there. So I get told that she's here, but she's knocking tables over, and we've been asking her to politely, please stop. These are high top
Nice.
tables, and that place drinks get thrown around all like crazy. Not like Blues Brothers where you have to have a fence behind your band or in front of your band.
Oh,
It's
like Roadhouse. It's not like a Roadhouse.
It's not a Roadhouse. Yeah.
Roadhouse situation.
Yeah.
Dude,
It
sax
can be though.
player.
And actually, the uniforms we wore were Roadhouse. They were the the red collar, whatever. Anyways, so
She's bumping tables.
She's bumping tables, dude. And we're like, hey, please stop. And then, dude, she hits one of our nicest, security guys.
Aww.
And so then we ask her to leave.
Him? Like struck
She
him?
smacked. Actually, you could see it in the video. He's
Go
like,
to TMZ.
he was like, "You hit me in the fucking face.
Just put TMZ.
You're lucky you're not going to jail."
Haley Reinhart, TMZ. Just space TMZ. I gotta.
She wasn't roofied?
Whoa.
out.
Wait. Let's see. There it is. See, I'm in the thumbnail. I didn't do shit.
Where are
Look,
you?
I'm on the very far right.
He's right there
Yep.
in the red shirt.
That's you in the red.
Look at his big head.
That's me. I have him,
Bro,
I
you're
had-
famous.
dude. I had him in. Like I had him, but
you
then
first saw.
Hold on. Wait. Let's watch this, dude.
Yeah.
I'm big pumped on this. Hold on. We're gonna come right back to your story as soon as we're done learning about DSW shoes.
She's kind of cute.
Yeah, it's like
cute.
kind of a bummer that she's over here.
she's
just-
great, dude. She's. I mean, she almost won American Idol or whatever it was.
She was on
Back
F
in
is for Family.
Yeah, she voiced the little kid in F is for Family.
She
With
had
Bill
like
Burr.
some song that was on the top charts for 58 weeks.
Yeah.
Damn.
She covers Radiohead's
Yeah.
Creep and like a.
Okay, I like that. Let's turn the volume down a little bit. Where's she at? Where's she at in this mess?
So the guy in the purple, he works for us. He's our lead bouncer. He had it by the throat. I was like, I can't. Scheme a rinkadoo out of there just because like they got it. I don't want to be part of anything. I don't.
dude, somebody just put a homeboy in a leg lock.
So that guy was trying to be a martyr. He was trying to like defend her. I don't know. I guess he was a friend or a fan. I don't know what, but he came out guns a-blazing.
He said, "Get your goddamn hands off Haley Reinhart!"
Yep. No, that's essentially
Literally.
what was happening.
Get your goddamn hands off her!
She's in the gray
Yeah.
dress.
Oh, poor girl. Oh, there is that her?
Oh no, that's her. Never mind. She's
That's
in the
her.
jeans.
Oh,
Now
wow.
listen to this. Listen to this.
She's like aggressively pointing.
Fucking lost! Go! You fucking hit me in the face. You're lucky you're not going to fucking jail.
And guess what happened?
She went to jail.
She went to jail.
Yes.
She
Fuck yes.
trespassing. She didn't refuse to leave the premises.
Justice.
And,
That's what I call that. Justice.
Yep.
Hell yeah, brother.
You know,
Dude,
some bull diapers
nice.
in there sweating.
Do you have any famous stories? Are you famous too? I gotta
No,
add. We
I
got
don't
one
think so.
celebrity on our hands. I can't
Not
handle
like
two.
that. I did have a patron when I worked at Cheddar's threatened to beat my ass because I forgot to bring her a side of ranch on Mother's Day.
Oh,
Fuck
wow.
yeah, valid.
Jesus.
Valid.
Yeah.
Valid.
She got in my face. It was a whole thing.
Listen, Court, I don't want to start this relationship we're building between us. Rocky, I agree with her. So we'll move on from there. Just
Got it.
ranch is a big gig. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have my ranch.
So, like,
I'm just kidding.
you don't work in the food industry anymore, right?
I still do. Yeah, I work at Olive Garden now.
Hell yeah, dude. The OG.
OG.
Yeah.
Are you out here? Are you coming to the West Side?
Well, I am going to start training bartenders on the West Side for about 6 weeks, and then I'm going to go back to the East Side. I might stay at the West Side but man,
East Side's popping. Olive Garden there on the East
dude,
Side.
it is
stays
job
busy.
security there.
The West Side will pop though. I guarantee.
Yeah, there's so many like low key drunk golf dads that are gonna be slipping in there. You know what I mean?
You know,
Yeah.
you know what's crazy
Yeah.
to me is that like there's a Fazoli's across the street on the east side, and now
And
there's a
And
Fazoli's
on the west side
Yeah.
now.
I was just thinking about that the other day.
Also, who is keeping Fazoli's on the west side in business?
Dude, they
I
just,
wonder.
did the
that
one on the west side just repaint their building, or is
It's
that just the east
Fairfield
side?
in. People that fly in.
Fazoli's and Long John Silver's. If you're like a frequent flyer there, fucking why?
Their
What is
chicken's good at
I
Long
love
John
Long
Silver's.
John Silver's.
What is happening?
I'll say
I don't-
this. I
Their
used to
lobster
Uber.
bites are amazing.
I don't understand.
It's good.
It's like the parking lot is like the Sahara Desert. Every time
really
I
is.
drive through, there's like there's nobody there.
Yeah, because that drive-through.
The drive-through.
All right, that
going to
DT,
sit
dude.
in
Fast,
a
friendly
fucking-
Italian, man. And best breadsticks, I guess,
Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure, dude. The
oh, yeah, I'm going to re-up, too.
Actually, the
I hope I
Fazoli's
don't-
breadsticks
No,
are
you're
better
fine.
than Olive
Do you want the
Garden.
tequila? Do you want tequila?
that she
This is
said
tequila.
that one was
Okay.
next, dude.
Yep.
Yeah, we're very friendly with our booze.
God
around
bless
here.
you.
God bless you.
I really
God bless
appreciate it,
both of
guys.
us.
Yeah,
Thank you
dude.
so
No
much.
problem.
Dude,
Least we
cheers.
can
So
do.
I think one thing that like we can transition to in this, you're both in the service industry. You see a vast like array of people that come in all these businesses. But then also, I feel like all the bartenders have love for other bartenders, like in the city. Like if you're a good bartender in the city, you know all the other good bartenders in the city. It's almost like a
Yeah, we have, I mean, I definitely care about them, but some of them aren't good. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them fucking suck so bad, dude. But like,
Damn. Okay, there we go.
you also want to learn from their mistakes, and that's what I've been able to do over the last 10 years, whatever, is learn from other people's mistakes, like how to treat. You don't want to be the asshole bartender to the other servers. Whenever you're making drinks for the servers and your bar, and you get a server that's like, "Where's my fucking drinks?" Like the first instinct for a lot of people is like, "You better."
Just to hit him.
Yes,
Right.
But for me, I used
Shut
to
up.
be, I used to be that server. Yeah, shut the fuck up. Give me.
I have a follow up question after this. So you go ahead. You were
Yeah.
saying so if they're like, "Where's my drink?
Yeah.
Where's it?" So what's your first instinct?
I said it'll be out in a second, and then if they ask again, I'm going to say, "Hey, if you don't like the speed of my service to you, you can go ask a manager because clearly maybe I need a manager to help me, or because I'll have."
Is this a guest?
No,
you're
this is
talking
no. I'm talking
Other
about a server.
servers.
Other servers
Oh,
for the
okay.
server well.
Yeah.
I would never.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Tiffany, wait for your fucking drink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
God damn, dude.
Well, one of the things I realized if you're nice to them, they reciprocate the same niceness to you.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
And sometimes they don't, but I mean, whatever, dude. Just it's chill. It's just fucking pasta and drinks, dude.
yeah.
Not a big
Right.
deal.
It's not the end of the world.
Follow up question: being behind the bar, like a post, so not necessarily at the OG. This can be any time after you did your time in service. But so, do you ever like often or ever are you behind the bar and you're like serving drinks and like somebody says something maybe just slightly malicious or kind of dickish to you and you're like, you know what I mean? You kind of like.
So,
I definitely look at them. I don't,
know what I mean?
and I
You're
don't know what my face looks like when it happens, but I definitely look at them.
What'd you say? You know what I mean? Like, what? Huh?
Yep.
Does that ever happen to you?
Joe
Like,
has resting bitch face, so probably.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I definitely wear my heart on my sleeves, especially if I'm tired. Or
I
if
like
I'm
that. I like that. It's a good quality.
But I also try not to. I try not to let my emotions dictate my decisions as best as possible.
Oh, I think you should. Yeah, I think you should.
Fuck, man, it can be difficult. But dude, that's what's great about Olive Garden is that it's not that serious.
Yeah.
Maybe somewhere else, like if I was like on Franklin Street, if I was at Bud's or somewhere else.
Bonefish gets sweaty, dude. Bonefish
It sounds like
yeah.
it. You get some
Bonefish
old
will
ladies
get
that come
sweaty.
and like
Yeah.
jock
We
your
got some
shit.
ladies, yeah.
So, like, one thing that, like, the main reason you're here today is to check out, like, a podcast setup, check it out
is true.
throughout efficiently.
Yeah.
And then, like, you're looking to start one here. Are you going to keep it just in the Evansville area in the beginning?
Yeah, it's gonna. Well, I mean, it's anything. I'm not gonna limit it to just Evansville. I mean, if somebody wants to come in from out of town, that's like a prominent. Dude, if John Taffer wants to come in and like talk about bar rescue on my podcast,
Hell yeah.
sorry, you're not from Evansville, dude. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be like that.
Fucking know your place.
But I
bud.
definitely want it to be about Evansville. But my biggest thing is, man, how am I gonna do that without name drop? Like, name dropping is my biggest thing because I do not want to put people in position for it's gonna have to be aliases. I don't know.
No,
I'm
it's
making
not-
rules
it's-
now. I
it's
don't
not
even
even
Well, like
that.
what's
It's not even
interesting
that,
too.
dude. It's
well,
not
what's-
even
what's
that.
interesting to me is like a lot of your like Franklin Street bartenders, they all have nicknames that they go by.
Shifty.
You know,
Shifty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so like you could damn near do those with their nicknames, and then like honestly, half these bartenders, like you hit up any bartender at Moe's and like Moe's going to be like, no, throw all that shit in there. Like Moe's going to want, so I think it would be per guest. It's the same as like we do where like we don't like, hey, what place do you work for? Like, and then I drop an inappropriate line. Like we don't want that coming back on people also. So it's like.
Yeah.
But back to what you were saying about like you don't want them, like if you're inquiring or being inquisitive rather about touchy hot button topics with their place of employment and maybe names get involved, you need to establish like, are we going to talk about where you work? And if they say yeah, then you're like, all right, cool.
Do I need to bleep the name of where you work?
But that's going to be my next point is like, say they're cool with you dropping the name of the joint, but if they're talking shit about Cindy Lou who can't get her shit together on Saturdays, you know what I mean? But that they don't want that name dropped, you just edit that fucking name out. Dude.
I know, man. It seems like I'm gonna be really playing with this edit. Shit with it because I mean, I don't wanna,
you'll get efficient at it too. But so like it's a service industry based podcast. Now, is it going to be only food service, or do you think like?
Well, what I would like to do is, since I have a place to do this, I have a basically a basement studio. It's fully furnished. I got this. It doesn't look as cool as your guys, obviously, but
yet
I'm a musician as
yet.
Well,
takes time, brother. We've been doing this shit for fucking,
and we've moved this room around 20 times.
Yeah.
We just finished moving it around for the 20th time.
Wow.
It never stops.
That's incredible, man.
It takes so much time and effort, but not yet, but it will come along. But anyways, so you were saying down in the
so I mean,
dungeon?
I'm also a musician. I have a friend of mine. I think you guys know him. His name's Alex Hellenberg. You guys had him on a couple years ago.
Dude, he does
like theater, piano.
Yeah.
That's one of my best friends of all time. We are doing a project together. It's going to be called Jet Ski Breeze. It's a yacht rock type of shit.
Yes.
Oh yeah, dude.
Fuck yes, dude. I go so hard on yacht rock, dude.
It's gonna
Michael
be fun.
motherfucking McDonald is a super fucking hero.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting. You know what I'm saying, dude? Oh, fuck, dude. God damn, that shit gets me fucking fired up. I'll go.
When it's like
Bitch, press a Volkswagen,
Alex is
dude.
just a funny guy to have around in general.
He's so eccentric, you know.
Very.
I saw him at Sportsman's like a few. Were you with me?
Yeah,
yeah. Dude, I saw him at Sportsman's not too long ago, and he was like, because he had already come on the podcast, and he was like, crikey! He does this fucking.
He does his like
that Aussie fucking. So he comes over, he's like, crikey. He hugs me, high fives me, pinches my nipples, and I'm like,
that's what's funny is
a
like
lot to take in, dude.
Brian had never met Alex when he'd been drinking. When Brian met Alex, he was on his sober stint, and then we go out to Sportsman's, and Alex is like, "Hey, I'm drinking again." And like, that's the first thing he does.
He's so sick, dude. He's so fucking Irish. You know what I'm saying, dude?
Hellenberg from the Hellenbergers. No, his dad, dude. I think his grandfather lives in Essex. He's got a
Essex
or something like that, dude. He's very theater. He grew up in theater.
He does a lot of good voices.
Very dramatic.
I mean, I recently played drums for one of the shows he directed at Bossy High School back in September. It was called Urinetown. It was like a vaudeville.
Urine?
Yeah, it's called Urine, like URINETOWN. Urinetown, where like you have to pay to piss, and it's like a post-apocalyptic thing, but it's a comedy.
I love.
Anyways, I played drums for it. It was like his first like directorial debut for the Civic Theater, and now he's like I guess I don't know if I can say it or not. But he's like on the board for Civic Theater now.
Is he a part of the Yahtzees?
The IATSE.
The IATSEs?
I heard Otzi, and I was like,
is he a part of the? Is he?
I don't know if he's a part of the IATSE.
I think he's a.
I'm not in with that crew yet.
Oh, Indiana.
Clearly, with that haircut and that mustache, fucking nope, dude. They're not letting you in, dude.
Soon, I'll start my own party.
He said soon.
I'm gonna start a band called the Reichte Party.
Perfect.
God, so soon I'll be into the zitter.
That's a bingo.
Yeah. Is that how you say it? Dude, but anyways, I'm so glad you guys have enjoy our shitty dark humor. It's always nice to meet one of your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, so thank you for playing along. But anyways, where the fuck did you were talking about Alex though.
Oh yeah, Alex
I don't know
Hellenberg.
how we got there, but we were
He was going to come here. He was going to be here today, but he
God
couldn't
bless you.
because he's setting up a theater. He's just setting up his theater thing. I forgot what. It's called Air Guitar. It's a play. I think it's a play. It's about air guitar. It's a play about an air guitar what do you call it, like a game show.
Okay.
So I guess I don't know. I still don't know the full deal. I wish he was here.
Sounds
to
like
be
a
able to talk
Japanese
about
game show. Have you seen any of these Japanese game shows?
It's
No,
a
I've
game
not.
Have you seen
show.
Human Tetris?
No, I have
Oh
not.
my god! You guys
Hold
keep
on.
talking.
Have you guys seen this Human Tetris he's talking about?
Oh, I did. The thing where it like rock. Yes, I've seen a little bit of it.
I like the air guitar game show type situation. I think that'd be a very funny skit or even short show. Funny hole in the wall. What is this? Can you make it big, brother? Please.
Oh my
What's
god,
happening
this
here?
reminds me of MXT, or what was that show from the
Yeah, Major Extreme.
Major Extreme?
Yes, I used to love that. Oh, this is fun. Oh, I love it.
Oh. I got too much junk in the trunk, dude. I would be out for sure.
Yeah.
I got too much beef in my cakes,
Same.
dude. Too much beef in my cakes, dude. Bro, that thing would have clapped my cheeks, dude.
Oh.
I
chair in the
swear
tire.
to God. What is this? He has to jump through that? What is the
They're
alternative?
just jumping through their language.
Dude, okay, yeah. So do you have to like pay
Man.
somebody to show Smudge? Oh my god!
Oh, my Jesus. This is the Human Tetris?
Yeah, like, and they go so fast, dude. I watched so much of this as a kid.
Dude, I feel like I did that, but it was with the escalator at the mall. You know,
Dude,
I feel like I
so-
was gonna be my mom was always like, tie your shoelace. You know, don't get your shoelaces stuck in the escalator.
Dude, it was a
It's
death
gonna
of the
get-
week one time.
Yeah.
Oh.
The escalator, those blades open up, and somebody fell in there.
It's at the
Oh my
it's at the
God.
very end. So when you get to the top, or whether it's at the top, so whether you're going down or up or whatever, but there's this big metal grating thing that you like step onto as you're getting off or going onto the escalator at the top. And that's where all like the gearbox and this, that, and the third, that's where all the working parts are. And the death of the week we did, there was a fucking video of it. And we fucking watched it. And dude, it was fucking dope. It was fucking dope.
So they just go into the.
yeah, the
Bottom of
back
the
piece
steps?
like broke, and so they fell in there
Oh my
where
God.
like the
Is it like
grinding
a
box.
revol-
What do you think's back
grinder?
there? Do you think it's like a bowling alley back there?
I think it's like spike.
Dude, there's like
track.
clowns back there, dude. They're just fucking like playing
Discovery
cards.
Zone?
Fucking trampolines.
It's actually how Stephen King got the idea for it.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of clowns under an escalator. But, dude, no, but it was fucked up, dude. The thing collapsed while the lady was standing on it, and then you just like watch her like.
She
Oh.
died though.
Yeah,
Rest
God,
in
how long
peace,
ago
bro.
was that?
It was in Asia, to be fair, and they don't have like the strictest like
Oh shit.
fucking building regulations.
Yeah.
Yeah, codes.
Dude,
and shit.
we've covered. I think this is the first year that we did not do a death of the week every episode.
This
So
is the
for-
first
we did
year.
like 190 death of the weeks before we were like, hey, maybe like we have listeners that listen only for the death of the week. So like, you know, you'll be able to see when you start your show on the analytics, you can see when people start
Tune in, tune out.
tune in and tune out.
Oh, okay.
And so like you have a bunch of people that watch the death of the week and then they turn it right off after the death of the week. And we're
Wow.
like, that's a cool feature to keep, but
Absolutely.
like every now and then it doesn't necessarily fit the like conversation line. So like take it in, take it out. I think
it's
we were
interesting.
throwing around the idea of doing like an interesting article, like instead of the death of the week, if we don't do that, like to them. But podcasting is just literally like a nonstop like adaptation that snowballs, I feel like.
Yeah, you're constantly evolving and looking at numbers. I let Tom look at the numbers because if I look at him, I don't even know what I'm looking at. I'm like the opposite of Rain Man.
But like it is crazy though to think about podcasting as a whole. And me, in my opinion, I think that all the small businesses, podcasting is going to be a social media platform here in a few years.
100%.
So if you have a small business or a hobby or like a local niche and you don't have a podcast for it, like you drop the ball.
Yeah.
Here in like 3 years, you will have missed that window.
It's going to be really important for businesses that have customers that are like religious about their product. Let's say that they're
Like 6 and 0, like they're big on renewal and bringing in stuff. Like if you did a podcast on like, hey, this is recycling day coming up, and then like, hey, this is how you take a fucking wine bottle and turn it into a soap container. Like if you did like long, you know, if you started dropping stuff like that on the regular and built a whole platform based on that,
man.
it would be huge. But like podcasting and like we've shot ourselves in the foot. You guys did great with picking a niche, and like service industry people are going to eat that up. We don't have a niche.
Yeah.
So it's like we shot ourselves in the foot because somebody will listen every band episode we have, but then we have bartenders on and they're like, eh.
But if you have ADD and daddy issues, fucking come on down because you will fit right the fuck in, dude.
Let's talk about it maybe if we get to it.
Dude, if you could fucking a fly on the wall, that's why there are no flies in here. They don't want any part of the shit that's going on in here. But yeah, so it really only pertains to those people.
Has there ever been this is always like interesting to me too. So like you go to like some bars or whatever and like you ask for a drink and they don't know how to make it. Like have you guys ever had like that instance?
Yeah, you know what? I get mocktails sometimes. I'm like, how do I make this into a mocktail? This is like a 2 or 3 part alcoholic beverage, like a
Can I get a 4 horseman?
but non-alcoholic.
Can I get a Vegas bomb mocktail for my 8-year-old? And you're like, you want him a Red Bull? Like, what are you talking about?
Can I get a shot of tequila?
Yeah.
At this point,
mocktail?
I've got some assorted juices I can kind of pour together.
Oh yeah, because Bonefish. I mean, you guys make your own. Like a bunch of your own shit. Like
we batch a lot of liquor, like mixes.
what am I thinking of? What was the thing you guys make?
Liqueur?
You guys make your own liqueur? No, it wasn't. Was it? It's not bitters because that's Mo's house. Mo's house makes their own bitters.
Yeah, for sure.
We make like our own martini mixes.
Okay,
Stuff
yeah,
that we
nice.
batch together. And,
Nice.
yeah.
It takes like days to do it, right?
takes a couple days, like
Yeah,
for
just to make a
fruits
batch.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's funny
Cool.
story on
It's a prepping
fruits.
thing.
So I'm working on this
Jesus
side project. It's a good story. I'm working on this side project to where I'm sitting down with my grandparents and recording just their life and asking them, like, the first episode that I sit down and record is like, tell me about our family history and what you know and like ancestor stories, all this and that. And my grandpa was telling me a story about his grandma or great grandma on like his mom's side of the family, and they grew up in the Great Depression, and it was her and her 3 daughters, and the dad had left the picture during the Great Depression, and so they would like take this horse buggy with a flat, he called it. I assume it's just like a flat trailer that you throw shit on, and they would like ride around this buggy on the farm and pick up like wild berries and like plums and all this shit to like make into stuff to make it through whatever. And they like turned all these wild fruits into like jams and jelly, and they like put it all in a pillowcase and hung the pillowcase up to catch the juice drippings. And after a few days, his great grandma told the kids to go give those stuff out of the pillowcase to the chickens. So they take it out to the chickens, and then they go out like the next day to feed the chickens, and the kids run back in. They're like, "Mom, all the chickens are dead."
Nice.
Oh my
It was
god.
alcohol.
And so they go, and nothing goes to waste. So they're like, all right, pluck all the feathers, and we'll just throw the chickens out on the ridge for the coyotes and whatever. So they pluck all these chickens' feathers. They take a break for lunch, and they go back out there, and the chickens were all awake, and they were all naked. They were drunk. They were passed out drunk, and they had plucked all the feathers, and they thought all these chickens were dead. And they said the chickens were like looking at the other chickens that didn't have feathers and were like freaking out.
Like, did we get raped?
Oh,
Why are my clothes off?
Jesus Christ. If you were ever wondering what it was like to just randomly wake up on Epstein's Island, that would be
Oh, shit.
pretty fucking...
I like that.
What
That's a good reference.
fuck is Jesus? And there's like other dudes in there with you naked
why
as
is
well.
Prince Andrew here?
Bill Clinton walks in smoking a cigar
In a
He's
dress.
Like, how we doing?
He's like, I did not inhale.
Ugh, if the dress doesn't fit, you must have quit. I
That's
think it's a
right.
different.
I don't know.
Coming up on the next episode. Anyways, all right. But anyways, so yeah, that's fucking wild, dude.
Have you ever had like some?
That's
like,
a good fruit story.
Yeah, dude. I was like,
God
like,
damn.
that was funny.
was good.
Dude, they also
That
talked about
escalated quickly, dude.
their house was like they built a sod house. So like taking square cuts of grass and
Yeah.
just stacking it on top of each other.
Yeah.
And they said that they used to sweep. She remembers her mom sweeping and mopping the floors and it was dirt floors, but they had walked on it and done so much that it was like concrete. And then they would sweep and mop it, that it was like one solid
Just like
slab.
congealed into it.
Yeah, and then the more that you sweep and mop it, you're just conditioning it.
Yeah,
So you're just like dampening this already almost concrete foundation, and then you're walking on that and you're compacting it. Yeah,
But I think it is
that's
cool
fucking
that like
wild.
we live in this age of like being able to like pop up a camera and some audio equipment and to like archive whatever.
yeah.
I think it's so important.
And
though,
somebody
too.
gets pissed when they get the wrong fucking mocktail or their phone charger's not working. Suck my dick, dude. Fucking
Exactly.
dude. My Nana was walking on fucking mud floors. You hear me?
My Nana.
No, it's wild, dude. We're fucking spoiled.
Well, what's
now,
even
dude.
crazier is I think I mentioned this, like that same grandparent, their whatever, same ancestor saw the first electricity, first airplanes, but then also saw a rocket launch in their lifetime. Like, could you imagine living in that time frame from like nothing flying and no electricity
Nothing
to like
flying.
a rocket?
Yeah.
And then you get the Challenger that blows up, you know,
Yeah.
like
Rest in peace, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
what a
teacher
transition.
lady was on that one.
Yeah.
Well-
What's even crazier is the people that are still in space right now.
They're coming back.
yeah, they just
sent their-
docked.
been saying
They
that.
just docked. They just docked to bring them back.
Yeah, they're up
I watched
there.
it last
They've been
night.
saying that for like how long now?
Well, yeah, but
10
that was
months?
when the party that's not
Hey,
in
hey,
office
hey,
right now
hey,
was
hey,
in,
hey.
and they
We don't talk
they,
politics.
turned down that contract
We
for
don't
Elon
talk politics.
because he was riding for the other team.
Jesus fucking
My
Christ.
heart goes out to Elon.
Stop.
Oh my God.
Jesus fucking Christ. So that's one rule that we don't ever talk about politics until Tom gets a wild hair on his ass.
Yeah, don't shave my ass. So there's a lot of wild hairs.
But yeah, family lineage. Do you guys subscribe to that? Do you know much about your family lineage? While we're on the topic of conversation, you know what I mean? Like, do you guys know much about? Do you guys have cool family lineage, or are you guys like
I don't.
like Germans from the 30s, and we don't want to talk about it, or you know what I mean?
We're German. I'm German, Irish.
okay. Should I be nervous? You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Two
No, you're
bald
both
white
bald.
guys in a room,
Dude.
People
Yeah,
get nervous,
Yep.
dude. People
Yep.
are shifting. They're watching. You know what I mean? Like-
yeah, you gotta walk on eggshells
Yeah.
sometimes.
No, for sure. But
No, I mean we live in one of the most prominently German areas of the country. I mean Indianapolis, I think, is one of the most German for
Yeah.
a while. It was. I know, like Du Bois County.
Yeah, the leader of the
Unfortunately, that's the
KKK
name
used
of
to
it.
live there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I lived in the neighborhood
unreal.
next to his.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Mowed his grass. Tipped great.
Yeah.
For a white guy. Yeah, tipped great.
For a white guy.
Damn. What year?
This was like 2008.
Okay, so just before everything went to shit.
Yeah, he was an
Yeah.
older guy. I used to ride my bike there.
Did he still pay you after all of his subprime mortgages fucking went to shit?
Yeah, that was after during the collapse.
I did have an old lady that paid me from her freezer. She kept all her money in her freezer.
Yeah,
Nice.
dude. That's smart. That's like people that keep money in the back of their toilets.
Cold hard cash
Yeah.
is what I used to call it.
Yeah. Well, I call the toilet money just
Is it like
toilet
fire
money.
safe? I guess it'd be fire safe.
I think they just grew up during the
they
Depression and they
are.
have to rattle all their shit.
I think for the most
Yeah.
part.
Hashtag
Yeah.
Vietnam.
Toilet, by the way, is a good place to keep your money in the back, just in case you're wondering.
I keep other things there.
Nice. Paraphernalia. What about you, Kourtney? Do you know much about your family lineage? Or
no, I really
have you ever done
don't.
23andMe? Does the government have your DNA?
No, they don't.
Okay, good. Good for you.
she's
I
Scottish.
wanted to.
Did you say she's
Yeah, her Scottish. She's
Scottish.
McGill. Her last name's McGill. She's literally Scottish. What are you talking
Mac
about?
Gill?
Yeah.
Mac Gill.
It's
Nice.
MCGIL, like
MCGIL. So I
like
think
Jimmy
I'm
McGill?
Scottish.
Yeah.
I
Not from
think,
Cicero.
Yeah, maybe some Irish, maybe just some basic white shit. Really, you know?
Nice, dude.
basic white shit.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
my whole family's English day. So yeah,
So,
we hate your people.
My mom's a Bridget.
Yeah, I don't know.
Bridges was her
Okay.
maiden name.
Oh,
but
dude, you're so white. You're so white and
So-
so English. Yep, got it.
I
So-
think probably somewhere along there.
Wait, hold on. This is important. Did you have bad teeth when you were a kid? Were they crooked and stuff?
No,
No, you didn't do braces or anything?
no.
I did. I'm so white and English that my teeth looked like a fucking beaver dam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, bro? It was bad.
So
it was bad.
I was
dude.
gonna say in the service industry, a lot of people that like are in the service industry have aspirations to own their own business. Do you guys ever want to like open your own restaurant or anything along those lines? Or are you guys strictly like service?
The closest thing I think would be cool would do like a mobile bar. I think
Okay.
that would be fun. But as far as opening a restaurant, my dad owned a bar back in the 90s called the Ragin' Cajun. Old bar on Division Street back in like 1990 when I was a baby. And it was like he specialized in bringing crawfish food or like Cajun food, crawfish from
yeah.
New Orleans up. And they used to do like a band called the Beat Daddies, which is like kind of an older band around town.
I had a daddy that
Um,
would beat me.
Yeah.
Also, I'm not a fan of the Cajuns.
Well, that's racist.
Well, no, not the Cajuns are fine. The Creole folk, not my.
Well, this was
biggest
just the
fans.
food.
Great food.
I can get on board.
Do you
I can get on board.
Do you suck the brains out of the crawfish?
What?
Do you suck the brains out of the crawfish?
I
the
have sucked a
brains.
crawfish before. Yes. Yeah. But
Body
I'm
and the
not.
tail.
I bet that crawfish was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, daddy, get it.
Yes.
No, but like Creole people are like half French, and I'm
Yeah.
not a big fan of the French. I
From
think
New
they,
Orleans?
they can fucking
From
suck
Nolans,
it.
yeah.
Nolans?
Not a
Yeah.
fan. But shout out to the French, you know?
So you think like basically like a mobile bar, like
That'd be
I
events?
think
cool.
a mobile
That's a good
bar would
idea,
be
actually.
cool.
Yeah.
So my dad had that bar, and it's so much upkeep and just finding people that can run it. He had bartenders that just would, give out a lot of free stuff, and it drained them dry.
Shut
But I think a mobile bar would be cool.
What if you did, dude? And I'm just spitballing here. Let's say you have like $100K you can dump into this, or like you
Right.
take out like a $200K business loan, right?
Right.
That's probably way too much. But hear me out. What if you go like double decker fucking RV style?
Yeah.
So it's like
Pizza
big enough
Revolution?
that you can have a head count of like 50 to 60 people in your bus when it's not moving.
Oh, gut out like a Greyhound bus. Like,
Bro,
Yeah.
but double decker. Like
Like
take
that pizza
another
bus,
Greyhound
yeah.
bus
Yeah, Pizza
and
Revolution.
mount it to
Yeah.
the other Greyhound bus like they're fucking, and then weld that fucker together. You know what I'm saying?
Have
And
you
make-
not seen the Pizza Revolution truck?
yeah,
Yeah, that's an old English.
Yeah,
that's
they have like
yeah.
2 or 3 of them. They're thinking about franchising.
Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
I'm talking about like I would want if it were me. I'm just spitballing here, but like
I was
an
just thinking
RV.
for like
Yeah.
weddings. Weddings would be huge to
you
like.
gotta think about the logistics of
weddings,
parking that bitch. I mean, you
just
can't
events.
just park that anywhere.
Dude, just get
Right.
you a blind Rain Man, dude. He'll park that son of a bitch
We'll just
wherever
get
you
the
want.
blind guy from Sportsman.
Yeah, dude, get it. Come up there with his stick.
Speaking of blind people, did you see that they had
guy's
fucking
hilarious.
the blind guy from Kill Tony do the drum off?
Well, I didn't see the newest Kill Tony, but
Yeah, it was
wait,
in
was
this
it the
week's-
newest one?
Yeah.
Wait.
Damn it! See, I was trying to get you to watch it this week, but you're like, "Oh, I'm not in the mood
who
for
are the
it."
guests? D Madness.
Oh, it's a D. Madness,
It was Cam
yeah.
Patterson.
Wait, D
and
Madness
some other
did
guy.
a drum off?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're
dude, I bet he
talking about
killed
the
it.
blind guy.
The bass player, D
Yeah.
Madness,
Did
was
a
on the
drum
drums.
off. Yeah.
Was he
killed it.
just missing shit all
No,
over the place?
He did it great. He beat the guy.
Did he really?
Yeah, dude.
Shout out to D Madness, dude.
Do you
He's a
understand-
fucking monster.
You know the premise on that, right? Like their rules. So the guy. So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you have, okay. So like that person has to. So if that person wins the drum off and beats Michael Gonzalez or whoever's playing drums at the time,
yeah, it's
that
a crowd
person
vote, too.
that person takes the job of Michael, and then Michael Gonzalez has to take that dude's job, whatever that dude's job is. It could be an insurance adjuster, could be a
Male prostitute.
fucking male prostitute,
That'd be
anything.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Dude,
Which-
a guy from Indiana that broke his dick, and when Mr. Beast was on, and
yeah,
Mr. Beast was like, "This guy's living out of his car. This guy broke his dick, and you want me to give the guy that broke his dick $10,000?" And they were like, "Yeah."
Yeah. Pay that man. His dick don't work, dude. Pay that man. Yeah, dude, that was solid, man.
So, one thing I think we should touch on too while we're here is like this new thing that like the government's cracking down on the local bars playing copywritten music.
Oh, it's so tragic. So fucking
Which is
tragic.
crazy to me. So, like, I guess the bars book these bands, and then the bands bring their own set list. And so, really, the band's at fault here for playing copywritten music in the establishment, but the establishment's in trouble for it.
So
Yes, go ahead.
So what's the difference between that and just like cover bands? So
So
how
it's
can
all
they
under
not
the same
just-
publishing right. Like you pay ASCAP. There's like 5 different companies you have to pay: ASCAP, BMI.
It's a licensing, essentially. The bar here in town that we're not going to say their name, hopefully, like that got in trouble for it. They didn't pay the it's a licensing
Yeah.
fee to like.
It's the same
play
one
the
that
songs.
girl was roofing guys at, right?
I wish she would have roofied me.
Same.
Been on
I've
the
been
floor.
roofied. I've been
Same.
roofied twice in this town, and none of them have ever been up.
I was
I've
prescribed
balled.
Klonopins and went drinking every night. So,
Dude, I've tried to get
I'm
roofied.
gonna.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick pee break.
Yeah,
BRB,
okay.
dude.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna take a peek.
it's in the general direction.
All right, we're back, dude. All right, so everybody had to take a quick break. Tom, you want to go ahead and break the seal on that bad boy? God bless you. All right, man. So where the hell did we leave off? We were talking about double deckers.
Well, I just also wanted to,
family
like,
lineage,
The service industry, like I think we should go into like that realm of things. So like, don't know where I want to go with it, but I want to go into like we were talking about like cutting people off, funny stories, like
funny stories, and then also,
mocktails.
what is some of the biggest? So like and you can answer this from anywhere you've served, or maybe it's just here in Evansville or wherever. But like, what is one of the most common flaws that? And it doesn't have to be franchise either. It can be fucking Mama's Bar in fucking Memphis. Mama. Shout out to Tupac. But also, what are some of the most frequent errors that restaurants and or bars will make that you notice or you see as a bartender or even a server or a bouncer? You know what I mean?
I think it has everything to do with management, your quality of management. Right? I don't know. Would you agree with that?
Well, yeah. What do you think?
Managers and owners that are there and they give a shit. You didn't just purchase a bar and live in Arizona and have something in it. You know, like you're there, you're present as the owner and you're the face and you fucking grab it by the balls and that's your fucking place, right?
Oh,
you're not just somewhere.
Yeah.
This is not just your,
run of the mill.
I can see that. I would say where I currently work is probably the most organized place.
Yeah.
The most, they are like on their shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Really, yes.
Nice.
It's a great place to work. They are on it. But I've worked at places like, some places on Franklin Street where there are people that are running it that have no business being in charge of other people, and the communication and the way they treat people is a big thing. So I think that
It trickles down.
Yeah, it does. So when you have a good management and present, people that care, it makes a
Well, I
world
think
of a
like
difference.
people respect that too. Like when you go to Mo's house, Mo's there like every night.
Every night,
Yeah.
dude.
Well, that's her baby, I'm sure.
Yeah.
How could you not be?
And
Well,
that
she actually had a similar instance like you to where she grew up in the bar and actually wanted to double tap on that. Like growing up in a bar, like by your dad running it, you were clearly there. You got to see some things. So like, when you get into the service industry, like, are you instantly like, oh, I already know some stuff and like climb up to like management, or like how does that? Or is that
I've just never really wanted to be a manager, to be honest. It's
nice.
not
Very
in
wise.
my,
Very wise.
I don't care really about that.
Yeah.
I like serving and I like being a bartender. That is I'm good at that. I know I'm good at that. And at the end of the day, if something really goes wrong, I know I can have somebody else that like, hey, they're actually in charge of this and they can help me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Greg,
like, I don't want to be the one.
Yeah, dude, come deal with this fucking gang of old ladies over here.
dude?
Right, I can do so much, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get my manager, and then I'm going to pawn it off on them because they make more money, and this
Golden
is their
Girls
job.
+2 at table 6 is getting out of fucking hand,
Blanche
dude.
Devereaux is cut
fucking
off.
go fucking handle Betty White over
You
here.
think
Oh,
all
rest in
good
peace.
bartenders drink?
I think they've either had like a past where they were fucking bad alcoholics and they had to learn from it, or I don't know. I don't think I trust a bartender that doesn't drink.
I had this conversation the other day with one of the guys that works in the kitchen. He was like, "Well, I thought about being a bartender." He's been he's worked in the kitchen for 10 plus years at Bonefish. Like he knows his stuff. But he's never been a bartender. He's like, I think I could be a bartender. I'm like, I'm sure you could. However, you don't drink. And
However,
when I make drinks, I am testing them. You know what I mean? Like I'm taking a little straw and
And then
I'm
give it a straw.
trying
It's called
everything.
strawing,
So if you
little
don't,
sipsy daisy.
little sips, yeah.
Yeah.
I will try stuff that obviously I don't need to try vodka soda, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
or you could, if you're just having a
you
bad
know,
day.
I might try one.
You know what I mean? Just make one for yourself
If
back
you
there.
don't drink, though-
Straw never hurt nobody.
Yeah, if you don't drink, how do you know that you're making a good drink?
Right.
Yeah.
So, interesting ADHD comment here. They call it like liquor and spirits here, and
Yeah.
then like they like so some religious communities or whatever, they're like, oh, well, that allows the religious spirits to get in you.
Oh, I like this. I like where this is
Well, I
going.
was gonna say, like, have you ever saw somebody that's like super nice and then they start drinking and it's like fucking a flip of a switch? God bless you.
Thank you.
All Irish people.
Oh, as soon as they start drinking, they just turn into a different human being.
Yep.
Exercise the demons.
People like that are.
You're doing fine, by the way. I haven't noticed like a personnel. Well, you're Scottish, so it's not quite Irish, but it's pretty close.
Joe has stories, but we'll save those.
Okay. She actually turns into an Irish demon. So she puts her hoodies on backwards and she crawls around the house. And like,
I do have some like buddies from some online games. And, like one of them's in Ireland, and all the Irish dudes when they get off work, they don't go home. They go immediately to the bar.
Oh,
yeah,
for sure.
and they spend like
To the pub.
Yeah, several
To the pub.
hours at the pub, and then they go home.
yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty wild how like common it is to drink over the pond. Very common over there.
Oh, dude, it's there was a.
It's like frowned upon if you don't drink.
Right.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. There was this song that came up. I want to say like 5 or 6 years ago. It's what's that song? It's like I'll be your witch, I'll be your dream, I'll be your fantasy.
Soundgarden.
No,
Okay.
not Soundgarden.
Okay,
Savage Garden.
but-
Savage Garden.
But
Sorry.
there's Irish, or I think it's an English pub, and it's a whole English pub of dudes. These just like they just got off the mines, and they are having a pub, and they all sing that song, and it's
I
the
saw
coolest.
that.
It's one of the coolest videos I've ever seen in my entire
Let's just
life.
go ahead. I don't believe you, so
Yeah.
There it is, right there. Second video. Yep.
second video. Let's just
Tough guys sing Savage Garden.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
go ahead and let's get this. But Savage Garden, 2 gay men, I believe.
Was it really? Okay.
I think 2 gay
Well,
men.
if you're singing a song about Pepsi Cola.
Yeah.
Isn't that the song?
because it's Pepsi.
Oh,
It's
hold
pure
on.
gay.
Start. Turn it up. Give me some juice. Nice bass line.
This dude's wasted as fuck.
And they're harmonizing.
Wait, is this Stephen Hawking's?
Bradley Cooper, I think, is in there.
That dude's 109.
Yeah.
This dude isn't even
That's Bradley
singing.
Cooper, right?
Hold on.
They
hold on.
all
Stop,
look
stay.
very
leave
English.
the frame here. First off, that black dude's crushing it. Secondly, dude,
Oh, there's 2 of them.
dude, that's actually Tyrese. Dude.
I gotta get in this shit.
Hold on. Every white dude in this video has god awful teeth.
I know.
Yeah, dude.
So you,
Yeah, that's my
that's
people,
you
dude.
guys.
That's my fucking teeth looked like this when I was born. I looked like a chainsaw blade. Oh, it was like a beaver chainsaw blade. It was it was atrocious, dude. I fucking
Or like
made
a
fun of myself.
death metal band font.
Yeah, it was fucking awful,
shit.
dude. I swear to God. No, but
So what do you think like your favorite part about working in the service industry is? Go ahead and crack that by the mic. God bless
Oh,
you.
damn
God
it.
bless you.
All good.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Don't let it happen again.
Honestly, so I think the money is just, you can't
It's
beat
nice
it.
to have cash. Like I think that's one thing people don't realize in the service industry. Like I had a part-time, so like I work a day job.
Yeah.
And then like the local pizza place in my town of Boonville will call me when they need help because I
Yeah.
know the owner. And like, dude, that money is so nice. Like
Yeah,
back
pizza
when
money,
like
dude.
I lost my
yeah.
main job and I was doing photography on the side, I could live off of just delivering like the cash every single day
Yeah.
helps so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
oh
think
my
the
God.
money and the hours, we work like if you're not doing a double or something, most shifts are 5-6 hours. Like where are you going to make that kind of money and you're never stressed? I mean, at least the way where I work, it's
What's
so
fast
minimal.
paced? It's like at the
It's fast paced. I can go in from 4 to 10. I still have the whole day to do whatever I need to do.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
instead of having a 9 to 5 you're stuck at, or
Yeah,
a
you can
7
make-
to 4 or whatever.
You
know?
can in an 8-hour regular shift at say Toyota or whatever 12-hour shift. You can make it in like 6 to 8 hours.
yeah.
You have a lot more
Not
time to do
always,
some. Not
you know,
always,
but
but I mean,
for
I
sure.
I average $20 to $23 an hour at Olive Garden where I work here in Evansville on the east side. I mean,
Same. Yeah.
that's about what I average. I put it in this app every day. I put in my tips, my hourly,
Server life.
and it server life. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, there's your sponsor for your first,
Dude,
like, start
boom. I
putting
swear
that
to
out.
God, that's a
Dude.
perfect sponsor.
Yeah.
Anyways, tapering off of whatever he was talking, I'm glad we brought money up in tips. Dude, are you guys fucking Uncle Sam with your cash tips? I pray to God you are.
Yeah.
Thank God. Nice.
Yeah, shorter answer.
We can bleep
Yeah.
that out if you want.
Well, I think the government
but I
knows
think-
it, and that's why they're trying to pass that no tax for
Yeah, dude, fuck them. Seriously,
Stupid, dude.
You're not claiming your cash tips? Fuck them.
Well, you have to claim a
You do have to claim 10 to 12%. Was it 12%?
if it's card based.
if it's card based. Yeah,
Yeah, if it's
cash,
card,
Yeah,
if it's
yeah,
cash,
sorry, yeah.
it doesn't
I
matter.
would say majority of it is credit card though, but
also
some
claim-
people do specifically leave cash. They're like, hey,
I
I
do.
pay with
You
my
gotta
card.
claim cash
I'm
tips,
gonna
too.
do cash. But
You're supposed to, per
Yeah.
Uncle Sam.
Right.
However, if I build you a fucking airplane, like a little model airplane with airplane glue, and under the table you slide me a fucking 50 spot,
Yeah.
technically Uncle Sam wants to tax that too.
Yeah.
But fuck him. Literally,
Yeah.
but
Well,
fuck him.
But
But
butt
fuck him,
fucking.
yeah.
Any
Yeah.
asshole.
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
the butt
dude.
is.
Uncle Sam can come get it back in blood.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's right.
Fucking come and take it,
Especially with
Oh
as
my
much
you know what?
blood
Let's
as
come
you
get
saw.
it from us instead of people that really have a lot of money. That
Dude,
makes
I'm
so much
just
sense.
dude. I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
saying, it makes sense,
Right,
dude.
like I don't have the money to go out to eat. Why don't you take it from those guys?
Yeah,
Oh my
fuck
God.
off. Why don't you tax the people that are tipping me? Suck my dick, dude.
I swear.
Yeah, no. My wife and I both served.
Well, you
so-
served in Afghanistan, and she served at Pizza
Oh,
Revolution.
yeah.
Yeah,
so-
yeah. No, so I served both at the. I have flipped tables.
By the way, thank you for your actual
yeah,
for your
no,
service. Appreciate you, man.
He actually hates that.
No, but I did flip tables, both actually flipped tables, and also I did serve tables. So, and my wife did as well. So we understand. Like, we are the people that come to your restaurant, will eat, tip in cash, tip well, 30+%.
Right.
We put our dishes away for
Yeah.
you, so it's just a one grab and you're out. Because not everybody has a busboy. I think OG does, but maybe Bonefish doesn't. But you know what I mean? We're conscientious about that.
Right.
Whereas some people will like literally tip 2% on their
Mm-hmm.
card. They'll like hawk a loogie on the table as they're leaving, throw a fork through the window, and then flip you off as they're
And
leaving.
they let their little baby
Yeah.
smash all the crackers
Or
and
no,
open
leave-
every sugar packet.
Oh, dudes that leave their dip spit cups on your bar, those people can go straight to fucking
God, that shit.
Yeah.
go straight to
stinks.
jail and stay there for the rest
Yeah,
of their
dude.
life.
Honestly, that should be like a 2-day sentence for sure.
Fuck, man.
You should have to do 2 days for leaving that.
Oh my
God,
God,
fucking
dude.
disgusting.
Even if you put a napkin, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
Don't
that-
leave
that's
that
not
shit
doing shit.
smelling like a
Yeah.
fucking
That's what
candle.
I think that's one of the things I look forward to most about your podcast is like you gotta have a segment of just like shit I hate. Don't
No,
call it
just
that,
straight
but
bitching.
like you know what I mean?
No,
Like
yeah, for sure.
Actually, probably will call it shit I hate.
Or you
I
could do
hate.
or you could do like shithead of the week and find somebody that just did something
Oh,
fucking
like
erroneous.
Yes, because
bar?
that's one thing I love about like social media is they will find people that have come in and like write stuff on where the tip is. They'll put 0 and put a comment, and it's like, and then they end up like, you left your first and last name on that paper. Now
Right.
we can find you, and so just
It's just
berate
some
them.
notes I'm going to write now.
Oh, okay.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's like one thing that's cool. Like just
want me to write that on here?
No, I just want to show you what I've got going on.
Oh, yeah, you got a good-
some names, maybe like a.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think that's like great. Like one thing that like we kind of sucked on when we started the it was literally like the way we
Organization.
started the podcast was very much so. Brian and his wife do Taco Tuesday every Tuesday, and when they first bought this house,
Very
they would
pro-Mexico.
have people. They would have like all their friends over every Tuesday, but then it just boiled down to by like 2 hours in. Brian and I are sitting at the
Very
at the
nice.
table talking about telepathy tapes and how we wish we had autism.
Oh my god.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
everybody around
Low
the
key.
table is just quiet listening to us talk about how we wish we had autism. And we were like, you know what? Let's save up the money, buy the equipment, and just start doing it. But then, like,
tell
we
people
didn't have
about our
shit planned.
wishful autism on a mass scale. And honestly, it's not worked out great.
No, man.
So
no,
I hate
but
to
like,
hear that.
it is cool that, like, you do
shout out to our 600 subscribers.
But-
Actually, we're at 596. I need 4 more subscribers. So if you guys can go ahead and
I do think it's
rock
cool.
it.
I
You-
think I subscribed on all
You
platforms
find
so far.
Yeah,
you find
I will.
random people though. Like I have a guy in Texas that's like my grandpa's age that texts me every week, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Great pod this week," or like, "Hey, didn't really care for that person," or like, "We forget to put in the when I like do the intro music," and he's like, "Hey, I missed your this week." I'm like, "What?"
Dude, for
Attention to
him, I'm
detail.
going to make sure. I didn't know that was a thing.
Dude, he loves it
For sure.
Wow.
I'm making sure it's in
Like
every
there was like
podcast
2
now.
weeks that we didn't do it, and he was like, "Where's your at, man? You need to bring that back." And I'm
Yeah.
like, so like it's
Oh,
cool that
wow.
you'll get these
Son
like
of a bitch.
dude. There's a sheriff in like Florida that watches our podcast, and half the time I'm talking about doing mushrooms and smoking weed, and he's like, he sent me a photo of him watching it on his squad car computer,
like while he's fucking strangling an alligator. He's like, fucking nice pod, dude.
Actually, I think he's border patrol now, doing the Lord's work.
Dude, shout out to ICE, man. You guys are crushing it. I don't know, man. Short of
well, like, what are your like hopes? Like, we've covered like the things, so
aspirations,
or like your goal with like this pod in the next year. When can we
with this podcast, what I'd like to do is, the highlights, the lowlights. I want to get it all. I want to get things. I want to get like the generous. Well, hey, can I just read this off? I had
go for it. Do you have a name pitch idea beforehand?
Yeah, I'm not sold on it yet. I'd like to call it plated and faded.
Okay. Not mad about it. Not mad about it.
Or something else.
It's good. A lot of service industry people have that dark, like habit or whatever that might be.
Well, also I looked on
marijuana.
I was just referring to any form of getting faded, but
Checks out.
The thing is, industry is industry is just like we're service industry.
Are you gonna have any ladies of the evening on?
I will have whoever wants to be on.
Nice. I love a good lady of the evening, and honestly,
that is a service.
Yeah.
It's a service.
It is a service.
Yeah, it's a
It is
service.
a
And
service.
you'll both be interviewing the person, correct? Or is it just?
Well, it's just me for now.
Okay.
Just him for now,
but I mean, we're definitely going to be doing some pods.
Yeah.
But I also have like the industry people. But here's the description that I have.
Yeah. What do we got here, dude? Pitch
It's the podcast that dives into the heart of the service industry, where the plates are hot, the drinks are cold, and the stories are always unforgettable. Hosted by seasoned bartenders and restaurant workers, each episode serves up candid tales from behind the bar and in the dining room. Stories of wild customers, epic fails, surprising moments of kindness, and everything in between. Whether you're a fellow industry vet or just a fan of the human experience, join us as we share the highs, lows, and everything faded in between. Grab your apron, pour yourself a drink, and get ready for a taste of the real service world.
I'm wet.
Where the tips are earned and laughs are endless.
Yeah.
I'm fucking moist. I am moist right now.
That's like fire though, because you can cover like everything.
That's
You can go from like somebody who just started servicing and they're carrying 12 plates and they drop them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what was that
yeah.
experience like? And then like, like, do you make like, do you go home and practice? Like, do you carry 12 books? Like,
Well,
what's that shit look like?
Right.
A big inspiration for me was when Theo Vaughn started.
Hold on. I can only imagine like somebody serving tables when they're like at home doing Cirque
They're
du
practicing.
Soleil.
They're doing the.
they're like on a ball, like fucking back.
They're doing the Princess Diaries. Where
Dude, because I think
head.
about this shit. So like, I work on jewelry. I work like 2 doors down from you.
Just balancing shit like on their
your chin.
I dude, like these little kids come up and like watch me work on people's wedding rings and stuff, and like I've been trying to get my hibachi game up when these kids are
yeah.
watching.
No shit.
So like these kids are watching me.
heart.
I like turn off my light. And like we got alcohol, and like when you light it on fire, it lights up green. So like I'll be working on a ring, and I'll hit my alcohol over. So this kid thinks it's an accident, and my whole bench like catches on green fire, and they're like,
Green fire.
and I'm like, and then like this kid's like,
Dude, you should
right in the glass. You know what I mean?
Get out! Run!
Sometimes I like light a saw blade and it's like a sparkler and I hit it and the whole bench lights up. But like I've been trying to like figure out my flips and like cool, but I always drop it.
Dude. No, there's a certain showmanship to serving tables, though. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely the Cirque du Soleil training. If anybody's doing that at home,
Well, and it's cool. Like one thing to like grow a podcast is you have other people on that do podcasts. Like we're promoting you guys today, and when you start releasing, you know, we give some tips and stuff. And anybody that wants to start a podcast, we love podcasting. So like hit us up and we'll
I'm a
help you.
big pro pod, very pro Mexico, pro trans, pro pod. Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's where I'm at.
Pro Cairo.
Yeah.
So, but like, I think that like the service industry is huge. It's a perfect niche. Like, I feel like you have something.
I hope so.
It goes
Yeah.
much more beyond like restaurants and bars too, though. You know, I mean, service industry could be any store you go to, and they're dwindling. We're not going to have many more left, but stores you go into, I mean, hotels you check into. I mean, you're all dealing with the public.
And everybody's got
You know?
everybody's got Bluetooth headphones. Everybody is listening to long form podcasts anyways these days. So I mean,
Even when they
why
shouldn't
not?
be. Yeah, you know, dude, I got fucking dudes I don't disclose who I work for. We can talk about it after if you want. I got dudes on fork trucks moving like 10,000 pounds worth of shit, and they got fucking headphones out.
Yeah, that's
Like,
insane.
bro, you're gonna fucking kill somebody. Stop.
What's even crazier though is like
it's Rogan, dude. It's like
what's even crazier. So like Brian goes out in public more than I do. I stay like low key, but like people go up to Brian, they're like, "Oh, you have that podcast," you know, and like some people go up to Brian.
Happened to me
like,
2 days ago.
See, he always has these
At my
stories. Man.
gym, I
Nobody ever comes up to me and like says something, but like that's a cool experience to like these people in the community that, like come out. But like also we have several waiter people and like we know several bar owners that like we'll share contact. Like if you see through the thing, we'll send people your way. You send people our way.
I've been kind of showcasing this around town to bar owners, general managers,
hell yeah,
tenders,
Hell yeah.
bussers, and they're all like, when I show them, you know, my description of the podcast, they're like, dude, please, can we just do this and have something that everybody can listen to? It doesn't even have to be if you're from Evansville or not. Like I said, like, dude, if John Taffer wants to come into town and like do a podcast, like, sorry, bro, you're not from Evansville.
Yeah,
no, it's not going to be just Evansville.
Not good
It's gonna
enough.
be-
If you're not from the River City, get out of here, dude.
Well, I think like another cool thing about the service industry is so like I have a cousin in Kansas City that's a bartender that does like EDM music on the side or whatever. Like all these bartenders, they have like side hobbies. Yours is music. We haven't even discussed what your side hobby is.
God, I didn't even think about that.
But like, like you could hit up these like bartenders from these bigger cities. Like, dude, a guy messaged my fiance last week, and they were like, "Small world. The bartender that I go to on the regular basis is related to your fiance." And so, like, you know, like these cool, like you could get people from other cities that, like, you get a guy on from Mama's Bar that's talking about this lady getting stabbed.
Would love to have him on.
Would love it.
Like there's some, or like Cole and I played a game of pool for Coke at Winners and Losers in Nashville. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could see all the like all these like wild stories. Like the bar, like I feel like you guys have like an endless supply. That's the perfect niche. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You get somebody at Lamasco's that walked in on somebody having a threesome in the unisex bathroom. You know what I mean?
R.I.P.
And we both already know those type. We both already know the names of those.
And
people.
low key, I'm upset I've never walked into a threesome. Just like surprised, like you know what I mean? Like
I'm
that
upset
sounds,
you never had sex in the unisex bathroom.
That sounds
you know?
fucking sick. Dude.
That's a
Could
tradition.
you just imagine like being at Walmart and just like walking into the restroom and there's 3 people having intercourse? Like,
Man, my buddy was banned from laying
That would
ass hoes for a little bit for that.
that would change my life. I feel like the direction of my life would. I don't know what would happen.
Oh, here's a good one.
That'd
So,
be
like,
dark.
in
That's
the,
a dark
in the,
thought.
in the service industry, there are a lot of people that have, let's say, unhealthy coping mechanisms.
yeah, alcohol and
Well,
drugs.
or yeah, like the drug scene, I would say, and like the service world kind of go hand in
just
hand.
so long as they're
So,
not
like-
hitting their fucking dogs. Don't let me fucking find out.
But
Don't
like
let
I was
me
gonna
find
say,
out.
like working in the
Same.
service industry, have you ever seen like a coworker that's struggling with something, and like how would you even approach that situation to like, hey
question.
man, like you're falling asleep
Yeah.
at work,
Solid
maybe lay
question.
off.
I'm glad
the
you waited
Xans.
till the end of the podcast to fucking dig one up. Jesus. fucking Christ.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked at several restaurants, and for sure there are people that definitely have issues. It's tough. You know, if you're not-
Recreational activity.
Yeah, and I'm not just talking like, weed and alcohol. Like,
Are they hitting their dogs?
their dogs?
Are they hitting their dogs?
I hope not.
typically
Not
not
around me.
Typically not. I mean, I don't know.
No.
So typically they're not hitting their dogs?
I don't think so. If you have like a drug and
This
alcohol
is
problem,
all I'm concerned about at this
don't-
point. No, I'm joking.
I don't know. I don't. If a drug and alcohol problem, like you're taking it out on yourself, not your dogs, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
You're taking it out on drugs and alcohol, and you probably have a dog and a cat, or probably a cat.
At least
Since
a
they're
goldfish.
self,
Yeah.
Toxis plasmosis.
Yeah.
Oh shit! So pregnant. We're talking about pregnant women.
I thought toxoplasmosis was the cat thing.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
It is. It's whenever.
yeah.
So if you're pregnant, you don't want to be around cats because the
Right.
shit that's in the litter. There's a parasite that can
Change your brain function.
transfer into, because cats get their ass on every fucking thing, right? So if
It actually starts with the rat.
Hold on.
is it
Just-
the rat?
Can
It
I,
starts
can I
with
just
the
call a
rat.
quick
You're right.
timeout? We're talking
Yes.
about rats, cats,
Sorry.
babies. What the fuck happened in the last 60 seconds that my brain is not
All right,
able
hear
to
me out.
understand?
Hear me out. I'll explain this trail of thought for you.
Hold on. I thought we were talking about hitting
We are.
goldfish.
We are.
And you
Let
guys
me-
are
let me
talking about,
explain it.
yeah, if you're pregnant, don't be around a pregnant rat or a cat.
So
or
these
if they're-
rats,
What the fuck are we
these
talking
rats
Yeah,
get
we got off
this
topic.
parasite that makes them more
Jesus.
ballsy. So then the rat goes for whatever that gets them caught by the cat because the rat's more ballsy.
Yeah.
The cat eats the rat, gets the parasite. The cat shits out the parasite. People clean the litter and come in contact with the parasite. And then that changes your brain chemistry to make more risky behavior.
It's too rabies. It's too rabies for me. Yeah. Okay. All right. Jesus fucking Christ.
But the only reason I said so, like, I feel like a lot of people. The only reason I reference like,
did you see how long that
drug
explanation
issues
took you?
in the service industry is like, I don't think people realize that like service people, like most people don't realize like if you flip somebody off in traffic, that affects their whole day. Whereas if you wave at somebody, like that affects their whole day in a positive motion. And these like service industry people, they're real people. They have real lives. They have their own struggles. And then you're a dick to them because they fucking left the pickles on your Chick-fil-A sandwich, you know? And it's like you're blowing up on this person over like fucking nothing, essentially.
Well, pickles are a big deal. A lot like the ranch.
Yeah, I don't like pickles either. You pick that shit off.
So I have an idea about that.
Joking.
So I have always thought that there are people, and not necessarily a ton. I wait on a ton of people that are amazing, great, love them. But there are certain people that I think don't have a lot of control in their lives. And so one thing they might do is when they go out to eat or they get a service like at a hotel or they will specifically be that type of way because they know they can get away with it.
They're actually the manager at this establishment right now.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? No,
Yeah,
I'm saying that's in their head. They're like, I run this shit. You know what I mean?
They have such little control in their life, whether it be, their kids,
that
their
they want to
spouse,
take control of that moment.
So when they are out to eat, they know that a server, a bartender, whoever, a host, even a busboy is taking care of them and that, the customer is always right.
Yeah.
Right? We have to bow down to them, essentially. And so they will specifically be a certain type of way because it's one instance that they can get away with it.
I
believe
idea
it
for
happens.
a restaurant.
Bow down?
Middle Eastern restaurant.
Bow
you
down?
have to wash people's feet when they come in.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Muslim with it. God damn it. I thought you were going Muslim. I thought you heard her say bow down. I really thought I was locked in with you.
It is what Jesus did.
Damn, dude. I didn't know if you were going Catholic
Yeah,
or...
you just fish and bread and wash your feet.
I don't know, man.
Red wine only. You get red
Tilapia
wine or
and-
water.
Yeah.
Literally.
And then Loki, if you get water...
Do you want one fish or 40?
It's still red wine. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, but hey, while we're well over an hour, so before we're going to ask one more question before the evening's over. But before we get to that, do you guys, either one of you, have a question for the Days Grimm? This is one thing I got to start remembering to do more often. But we like to give you guys a chance to ask us questions about the podcast, about his horrible mustache, his weird haircut, me being bald, why my teeth were so bad, anything like that, whatever you want to know.
I have a question. Can you detail your? You said you served in Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'd like to know more about that.
I got a Google Drive here. We'll pull it up.
Holy shit! I'm sure you guys have discussed this. And
No, it just bodies is all that's on the drive. It's just human bodies. No, so three.
Chris
no.
Kyle over here.
No, I'm dead. No, he's got it. Yeah, just go ahead and pull it up for the. Well, actually, don't. You'll forgive him fucking nightmares. Okay. But it's God
bless you.
I did
real
thank
service
you.
industry.
I did 3 years, 17 weeks, and 5 days in the U.S. Army as an infantryman. I was stationed at El Paso, Texas, Fort Bliss in El Paso, Texas. Was there for 2 years and change. And then I did a year overseas in Afghanistan in Chark Logar, a place they call the Shark Tank. Of course, you pull up the dead guy right away.
This is in here, isn't it? This
yeah, that's in the Shark Tank.
Is that your confirmed kill?
Yeah, for sure. So anyways, did that as started off as a machine gunner, then started off as a machine gunner, then went to just a regular rifleman, and then got out. I didn't want to stay in.
Okay. So you said you said Army
infantry.
Army infantry. Okay.
Yep. Just a regular old grunt. Do you want to ask Tom about his mustache? What inspired it? Why he won't shave it off? No,
I was actually going to ask, what are your biggest pet peeves of people that come on the show? Is there anything that really gets on your last nerve?
Bad mustaches.
Okay. Okay.
Mostly. Real bad mustache. One that maybe you curl up throughout the entire episode.
I was gonna say like
Settle the fuck down, Hulk Hogan. I'm answering the question here. Jesus fucking Christ. He's like the Aryan Hulk Hogan over here. He's fucking Aryan Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah,
brother.
I need to get
Jesus
You guys
Christ. Got to
make
get you a headband.
Nazi references.
Yeah, he's...
I got that book. No, so I was gonna say my thing is like people that like some people we've had on that just don't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Or like they'll make random noises into the mic. Like it's like the first time they get to hear themselves in a microphone, and they're like,
Yeah, have you ever seen Space Odyssey 2000 or whatever, where the chimps find the monolith?
Yeah.
Some people will come on this podcast like that.
Nice.
It's so fucking wild. It's adorable, and also I want to kill myself.
Yeah.
It's they're like hitting it with sticks.
and I'm a big monkey fan. Like
Yeah.
half my algorithm is monkeys.
Yeah,
you know
I'm a
what
big
I mean?
chimpanzee
But, like, some
guy.
of these people, I'm like,
Yeah,
fuck, dude, I would rather have a chimpanzee in that chair.
If we get a chimp on the pod,
Brother, I'm there.
Viral.
Sign language and all.
viral
you know?
next day.
Call that chimp crazy lady.
Yeah, can we get get
got
a
it.
chimp and a handler? If anybody out there knows a chimp and a handler, get them the fuck in here, dude.
What's her name? Jane Goodman?
Is that the lady that got her face?
No.
Are you talking about the chimp crazy girl? From HBO's Chimp Crazy?
Love that show.
It was a great show. I forgot her name.
I don't know chimp.
No,
crazy.
Jane Goodall
filler?
is the one that works
Yeah,
with the...
Jane's the one that worked with the gorillas.
Yeah.
I know John Goodman. This
She actually worked with
worse.
parrots and
This
like
is
all
getting
kinds of
worse.
Oh,
animals.
I love parrots.
shout
I want
out
a
to
parrot.
Cloverfield.
Going back to telepathy tapes, so this lady had a telepathy like a parrot. So like she would sit over
Jesus
here and flip through a
Christ.
magazine,
It's
and
not getting good.
it'd be like a Life magazine, and like she'd be like looking at like some plants or whatever, and the parrot would be where you are, and she's over here reading the magazine, and the plant's like pretty plant, or like, and then like she flips the page, and she's like. The parrot's like Statue of Liberty, and it's like all that stuff. Dude, the telepathy tapes is wild. I'm sold. I'm
You
trying to
said it
get
like, Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Statue of Liberty. It's well, you know what's crazy to
Statue of
think about is
Liberty.
the Statue of Liberty was actually copper. And then like if they were to buff it now and to like bring it back to copper, it would be wild. Like half the people would be
You
like,
know,
Yeah.
it was a gift from France for World War One, and they were way late in getting it to us. So, fuck you. Dude, I don't like the French. I really fucking don't.
French.
Dude,
a
but
language of love and angry people.
yeah, and Harry.
Surprised we have an
Harry
official
Arnold
club of
Love and
American
anger,
Friends.
yeah, literally.
Dude, so any more questions? Anything about the podcast? About
Well, we can cover like
Tom's
specific podcast
genitals
questions.
specifically, maybe?
I like his turtleneck.
Thank
Yeah,
you. I'm
yeah.
actually doing it every
Very nice.
podcast this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs
Very
look
Steve
alike.
Jobs of you. Yeah.
He's doing a job
Is that
thing.
okay? So
It's his
Yeah.
New Year's
Jobs.
resolution.
well, you know, as
He
far
said,
as,
"This is a deep dive." Steve Jobs.
He's my god.
He's actually.
You're wearing that turtleneck.
I got
like
a lot
Steve
of
Jobs.
jobs.
Steve Jobs.
developers.
But did you like the
am
Ashton
an
Kutcher who played
apple.
Steve Jobs?
I thought he did. I thought he did a good job.
I thought you did a good job.
Yeah, I thought he did a good job.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a
He
good
didn't
film.
eat enough fruit for the role. in my
Oh,
opinion.
shut up!
Yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, as far as questions go, I'm just going to text you guys about like specific tech details later, and I appreciate you guys
We're
giving
always
me
available.
insight
Yeah.
about and your want more podcasts in Evansville.
I'm going to
area.
explain it to you like this,
Love
Joe.
that.
I want to be known as the pod father of
Yes.
Podfather.
All right, Adam Curry,
Yes.
you got it.
There's a lot of these bigger cities like Austin, Texas, New York, like all these places like New York, for example, like Flagrant, the podcast.
Yeah.
And then like Brilliant Idiots, the Owl, the black guy from Flagrant, and he's on Brilliant Idiots,
Yeah.
but he owns that studio space, and then like he rents out the spaces to all these other people. Like I want to be known as basically the guy that gives like helps all these podcasts.
Dude,
in
that
the
is
area
so
get
fucking
better.
admirable. I love that so much, and I think, dude, the fact that it's on, like, I don't know what other podcasts are around Evansville here. I mean,
there's
I don't.
We're the longest running
There's
podcast.
3 or 4 that are active and diligent and are in it for the long haul. Do they release every week? No. Some only release every
Once a month.
It just kind of varies, but
Yeah.
there are 3 or so that are like active.
But
and
consistency is key. Like if you post once a month, your listeners are going to be once a month
Expecting.
ready
Listeners,
for
yeah.
it. If
Yeah.
you post like us once a week, if we don't drop something once
Yeah.
a week, there's 15 people in our DMs bitching at us, telling
and
us
then I
to
have to
go
tell
kill
him Tom
ourselves.
got chlamydia and
Right.
this whole thing.
Right.
He's in the
For the
clinic.
third time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've actually worn that out. I've talked about Tom's chlamydia like often.
Yeah.
I don't even think you've ever actually.
I
had
can
it.
only have testicular cancer so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
he really did have it. That's why I asked if you wanted to ask about his genitals.
22 stitches.
I do. I would like to know everything about
He has
him.
both balls though, just for the record.
Yeah,
Still
both?
got him.
Yeah, still
Still
got
both.
him.
Okay.
Fighting
That's
the good
great.
fight. He's
Oh,
But
yeah.
it was interesting. Right when I got it done, I wore underwear that said "Jingle My Balls" that day,
God.
and I woke up in a mesh net underwear.
Yeah.
And the lady was like, "We have to change you into your real underwear before you leave." And she like carried it in. It's like an old lady, and I was like, "Don't do what the underwear say," you know. And then I
like
asked
this thing
him.
you just did.
I
Your
asked
heart
him.
goes
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
That's a lifelong habit. It's in my DNA. Go back to my ancestry. Check out that 23andMe. But then they had iodine all over them, so they were like green, and there was like 22 stitches. I was like, "Hey, can you give me my phone? I got to ruin my friend's day." And like,
Fuck yes.
dude.
Hell yeah.
I had some good
The fact
humor
that
in
we
it.
weren't friends yet at that
know.
point, I'm so fucking mad. I
It
didn't see
actually
your
might
balls.
be on the hard drive that's in this drawer over
I
here.
gotta fucking
When
see
did you
your
guys
balls.
meet? When did you guys meet?
6, 7, 8, no, 8, 9
years ago?
8, 9 years
Where
ago.
at? Or like,
Right,
how did
so
you guys-
I had just got over I had surgery and everything like that. I lost my job in that process.
close?
Yeah.
Oh
I had lost my job in that time. I was delivering pizza, but I couldn't deliver pizza in that time.
Yeah, you couldn't ride.
I had 22 stitches. I had to move back in with my grandparents. I couldn't lift more than 5 pounds, and you can like
shit.
only stay in the house and like you can only watch so much TV, play so much Xbox.
Yeah, before
you can
you're
only do
burnt
so much
out.
stuff, and like you're confined to a bed. You can't lift more than 5 pounds. You can't smoke weed because you're in with your grandparents. You know, so like you're just like in this hole. So like deleted all my social media. I was finally able to like. The doctor was like, "You can go out of the house now. You can walk."
Yeah.
So like I started walking around mainly to smoke some weed in the woods away from my grandparents. I was like, "Hey, I've been in the house like 3 weeks."
And they know you're doing it, but they're thinking
Yeah.
you're being a handsome gentleman about it.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I go out, I start walking, I like smoking weed, I start taking pictures with my cell phone and like editing them and like posting them. And then a bunch of people were like, "Hey man, those are dope." You know, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." You know, so like I'm just taking cell phone pictures. I go back to work when I finally get cleared. My first paycheck, I buy a camera. And everybody's like, "You're a fucking idiot. Like your first paycheck back and you spend all your money on a camera." And I'm like, "I lived without no money for 8 months." And I thought I was dying in that 8 months. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
so
also,
like,
I might have recurring ball cancer.
Yeah, exactly.
Suck it, Nana. I'm
So-
buying
Yeah.
a camera because
So
I
I-
might die tomorrow.
so I started taking more
It's like
photos.
grandma's boy.
I started taking vape videos. Our buddy Cole, Jelly Boy Fresh,
Jelly boy.
J
He was
Fresh.
blowing.
Can't wait to meet him.
He would blow O-rings and then blow a smoke into it, and it looked like a jellyfish. And so that's why he got the nickname. And
It's
I
hot.
started doing vape trick videos of him. Well, Brian had just gotten back from Afghanistan and was doing like this show called Boredom Bros, which
Yep,
I think we
was.
should take everything off YouTube and re-upload now. But it was like Southern Indiana guys tossing beers like over houses and like catching them, and like we did some cool video stuff. But eventually, like they needed a video guy. They were doing it all on their iPhones. They met me.
Yeah, we had like this handicapped girl from Colorado with like a shaky hand, and she was one of our camera women or whatever.
So then
How did that work out?
No,
I
fucking
came in
horrible,
season 2.
dude. It was like,
And
and
then-
then we had to put up a sign that was like,
We
"Pardon the earthquake that happened." Well, I mean, dude,
That's
it
the
was-
Pardon
millennial
the
shake.
tornado.
and we did
thanks, Adele.
we did one season of that, and then like most of the guys got married and had kids and kind of stopped.
Yeah.
Taco Tuesday, we were like, "Hey man, like I'm still doing photos, video," but I was like, we need to like we have this creative, like we just need to do something.
We need to go tip to tip again. Yeah, we need to go tip to tip.
And so that's what we did. We docked.
Yeah, so we
Dude.
docked it up. Yeah.
Fucking love Doc. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good, brother. If you don't love docking, I almost feel like you're not welcome on my
you
show.
know what? I think docking is great. I think it's an American pastime. I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So if you're uncircumcised, hit me up, dog.
Bring
Hell
back the Panama Canal. It's
Oh, yeah, I
ours.
guess it
We
only
paid
works
to
if you're
build it.
uncircumcised.
Yeah, you got to have one plus the other. Yeah.
See, I always thought like you're supposed to
You
put
can
it
regrow
inside
it.
your urethra. Like I always
Yeah.
thought it was supposed to be
This is getting
Anyways,
wild,
yeah, it's
dude.
getting wild.
Have you seen those guys that? Have you seen those guys that are mad that their parents got them circumcised?
Really just protecting
And they're trying to
Kourtney
regrow
at
their
this point.
foreskin?
All right. So one thing I do want to ask is at the end of every podcast, we do like to ask, did you ever have a dark moment and then you'll have these going forward on the podcast adventure when you follow through. I'm saying when because I believe that you will follow through, but. During your service careers, have you ever had a dark moment where you were just like, you know what I mean? Like, this isn't for me. I'm ready to hang it up. And then if so, what was that dark moment? And then more importantly, what we care the most about was what got you through that dark moment. And you don't have to explain the dark moment if you don't want to. Like my grandmother fucking jumped in the Wabash and killed her. Whatever. You know what I mean? I don't need to know if it's super dark, but yeah. More importantly, what was the motivation that got you through that dark moment?
You want to go first?
Sure. I mean, I wouldn't say there was necessarily like a specific moment. I think just years of doing it can wear you out. You know what I mean? There's times where you just you get burnt out. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like right around 2017, my dad wasn't doing very well, and so I just stopped, and I just had to take a break. I moved to New Orleans for a little bit, and I lived there. And then when I came back, COVID hit. I had a new baby, and it was like, you know what? Time's passed. I've had a little bit of break from serving, so I decided to get back into the industry. And I think it's proven that it's always something to fall back on. You know what I mean? Like you can go on and you could do other things.
Like we opened with, yeah.
Right.
You always have that foot in the door.
It's just something to fall back on, which is good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I've been tried teaching. Now I'm going to school for dental assisting. And it's like I'm gonna try to do different things, but I know at the end of it, if it doesn't work out, serving and bartending is always a thing that I know I'm good at, and I can,
And real quick, before we get to yours, Joe, my wife just graduated nursing school like 2 years ago, and she was serving for since high school, like literally. And I'm 35, she's 33. Yeah. So like 2 years ago, she was 31. So she had been serving from like 16 to 31. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like a good stint. But then went to nursing school, served all the way through that, finished, graduated, got a nursing job, and now she doesn't serve anymore, but like is in tight with the owners and here, you know what I mean? So she has that foot in the door, like if she wanted to pick up a couple of shifts or whatever. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But so yeah, definly. And then Joe, what about you?
For me, I didn't even know if I wanted to get into like bartending after my stint doing the security at that bar. There was so many times where I was in fights. I mean, every weekend there was a fight. I'm beating the shit out of somebody. Someone's beating the shit out of me. One of the two, and for $9 an hour and fucking bartender tips. I'm like, dude, fuck this. This can't be. But the end all. But I was just like. But for me, I guess there was one time specifically when I started working at Olive Garden. They're very specific corporate bar, right? So this is not your dive bar where you can just throw. You don't have to date everything. Like no, dude, every fucking thing has to be to a T. And we got so inundated. I came in, I was already like not feeling well. It's just like I don't know, something had happened where I was in a bad mood already, and I really try not to, I try to come into every shift, with a positive attitude because that's how I'm going to make more money. Positive attitude. And dude, this manager that I have now that I'm in good relationship with, dude, she just got under my skin so bad, and we were so fucking busy. And I couldn't keep up, and there were certain things that I'm like, "What? Well, if you didn't have this fucking red tape like this, then we would." And she was like, "You got to understand who you're talking to right now." I'm like, "Oh fuck!" So I was like, "I'm gonna walk the fuck out of this place right now." But no, I didn't. I was like, "You know what? Shut your fucking mouth. This is a good job. You work for a great Darden Enterprises. It's a great company to work for. I know it's Olive Garden. I know it's like the Walmart of fucking restaurants, whatever.
No, you're fucking
but dude, it's a great job,
Walmart, dude.
I'm telling you, great managers.
Fuck the Wallaces, bro. Fuck them, dude.
Well, I just, it was a trying moment for me, and I was like gonna fucking walk the fuck out. I've never done.
So what gets you through that? You know what I mean?
What got me through it was just like, man, it was hard for me to have a steady job all summer. I was just coming off being a substitute teacher for like a year. She's actually a former teacher for EVSC. I'm a substitute teacher, and I didn't have any work for the summer. I didn't position. Well, I wasn't able to get the certain job at Patsy Hardigan's. I had the job, and then anyways, that's a whole other fucking podcast if we want to talk about it.
We'll do an hour on that next week.
Yeah, dude,
Tune in next week.
We can talk about it. Yeah. And so then I just resorted to the next best. They needed a bartender right away. I guess their bartender committed suicide. They needed a bartender right away. And so I had to come into it in August. And yeah. So I was getting into it, and you're not supposed to start off as a bartender. They're supposed to start off as a server.
Yeah.
And then they
never told me that part.
Yeah, and they built you up. I started out as a bartender.
We could have wetted our toes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Then you were like, no, he fucking killed himself. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, dude. So I'm like coming into this somber situation. I'm like, fuck.
So what was the gas though? What was the gas that got you through like some of those harder situations? You know what I mean?
Just discipline. I'm not a fucking quitter. I've always tried to maintain that. I come from a line of wrestling coach. My dad was a wrestling coach. My grandfather was a wrestling coach. Just discipline and making sure you're not
just
being
be
a little
clear,
bitch about it.
You're not a wrestling coach, right?
No, I am not.
Okay.
But
got it.
and my mom was a cop. So
His mom
Jesus.
was a cop. Yeah.
A lot of authority, a lot of physicality.
So, yeah,
A lot of water.
Don't fucking give up.
Very
Stop being. Don't be a little bitch.
family.
You guys are hydrating a lot. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Golly, dude. We've gone well over an hour. I don't know where we're at right now. Honestly, I don't know what day of the week it is. This conversation that we've had today has explored very, very many topics. But I can't thank you guys enough for taking time out of your day to come down here and come talk to us. Alex, we missed you, but I got to get you back in here. God, it'd be fun to get drinking Alex in here.
We can go to
yeah.
TP's house.
Dude, we should.
It's like a block
Down
away.
the street.
Yep. I can show you where it's at. I don't think Gary, his dad, will like that. But
I've done it a few times.
All right, guys. Well, this has been another thrilling episode of the Days Grimm. We're about to go TP Alex's house. This has been Joe and Kourtney. Look for the new podcast of Evansville coming
Name
soon.
to be determined, but I like Plated and Faded, but we're not locked in yet.
Not locked in yet.
I like it. We will promote you any way we can. So
thank you.
Yeah, another thrilling episode of the Days Grimm. My name is Brian Michael Day.
My name is Thomas Alfred Grimm III.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.